going on?
You're bugging.
In effect,
How I'm bugging?
There's rumors, y'all,
We gonna
that a certain guy named King James
much.
is in trade rumors, and he might be leaving LA. And fellas, the teams that he's being linked to is him going back to the Cavaliers, Cleveland, homecoming. Him going to the Mavs, familiar faces, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving. Him going to the Clippers, he gets to stay in the same residence. Him and Bronny still get to be roommates. Or him going up north in California to play with his longtime rival, but will now be his teammate, Steph Curry. First off, I need to know, is there fire where there's smoke? Or is this just a false alarm? Or will LeBron James, in fact, be on the move?
I think it's more smoke than fire. I don't think he's getting moved. I think it's more smoke than fire. What it would cost Cleveland for everything that they've built up until this point and how close they are to winning, what it would cost the Cavs to get James on that roster, I don't think it's worth it at this point, and I don't think that they're interested in doing that. The Mavs, Ron, stop bringing up trade talks with the Dallas Mavericks. Okay, I already told you this, Ron. We've already been over this. I just got back in the house. I'm not going to be back in the streets right after I just got back in the house. I'm not. So
you talking about Nico?
Yes, I'm not doing that, Ron. There's no question. No questions asked.
If he show up back to the crib with Bron,
40-year-old Bron.
Yeah, what 40-year-old Bron that was playing like first team All NBA this last season?
Okay, so
age ain't nothing but a number, chill. Bron.
You already said it's a 3-year window, right?
It is a 3-year window, 100%.
Maybe you get two out of Bron.
And what would it cost? What would it cost in Dallas to get James there? Like, first of all, Anthony Davis is not going back to Los Angeles because he would have to play the 5 again. That's one of the main reasons why he wasn't in Los Angeles. On top of that, James just signed that $53 million deal. We got to make that money work. We have to make that money work. And how does that work in Dallas? We would have to get a third team involved. Maybe I think it's more smoke than fire. I think it's the off season, and I think that Rich Paul is just putting the bug in people's ear. I think just to get the Laker management just on their toes. That's all. I don't think he's going anywhere. I'd be lying if I felt like he was getting traded. I don't think he's going anywhere.
If the Lakers don't have any action at a championship, I think Bron to go. I think Bron to get up out of there. Because Bron, he doesn't owe the Lakers anything. Matter of fact, chill, we just talked about it just the other day. And Bron's been there for going on 8 years, and it's still a lot of people that don't consider him a Laker. Like, you know what I'm saying? There was a time when we were talking about who are the top 5 Lakers of all time, and they would still put people above him. But he's about to be there just as long as Shaq, and people still don't consider Bron a Laker. Nope. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's not tied to the franchise. He's not locked in. He doesn't owe him anything. He's not an LA dude or nothing like that. So there's no reason why he won't leave the Lakers. As far as that goes, like, loyalty can't be an issue. You know what I mean? And if he can't compete for a championship, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't leave LA. Like, this isn't one of those things like Bron's not going anywhere. Well, why not? You have no reason to believe that, except for maybe what it will cost another team. The only reason that he won't go anywhere is if it will cost another team just way too much, like too many pieces or whatever it may be. Whatever that may be. That's the only reason. Bron 100% can be on the trading block, and that's not crazy.
And 2 things, Ox. I think that's the main reasons why right there. Like, if this was a couple of years ago, I think that we could entertain this conversation even higher. But the fact that he just opted into that extension, what it would cost other teams in order to get him, that's going to be huge. And on top of that, I mean, the Lakers are making moves to compete for an NBA championship. And I think that that's all he wants. That's all he wants. I mean, I think we passed the days of Kevin Durant and Steph and Clay and Joe. I think we passed those days. But I do think that we're in a space where, because we just seen the Indiana Pacers in the NBA championship. I think we're in a space where as long as we have a shot, then I'm down to do it. And I feel like James is in a space where with the Lakers, as long as they are showing that, we're trying to compete for an NBA championship, I don't think he goes anywhere.
Chill, just to be clear, those Pacers will never be in the championship again.
I ain't fighting that.
Just to be clear, the Pacers aren't going back to the championship. So
even if Halliburton and Turner was back next year, you don't think that they got a shot?
Chill. They weren't going to the championship last year, but I do want to say this though about the Lakers.
Yep.
From what I've heard, they would love to get off LeBron, and for a couple reasons. Obviously, $52 million worth of reasons. That's one reason, but also they're ecstatic to move on to the Luka Doncic era and essentially get that ball rolling. And basically, if they were to trade LeBron, it would allow them to get some pieces back to go ahead and, get that momentum going, get some acceleration going into the Luka Doncic era. Can you imagine? Let's say, for instance, that they trade him to the Warriors. You get Jonathan Kuminga, maybe another piece or two. That's a good start to what they're doing. So that's what they. That's
Ron,
what
real
they
quick.
Okay,
no,
well,
sir, Ron.
let's say
sir.
Okay. If I throw out a young name, you guys will go crazy. Okay, let me say Darius Garland, for instance. All right,
it's okay if they're young.
That would be a good.
I'm looking at
JK
Jared
got game.
I'm looking at Jared Allen.
I think so too. I think having games not enough.
I'm looking at.
You gotta be a good basketball player too.
Like I would say, if LeBron is on the move, I'm calling Cleveland. Like, yo, I know this fits the story. This fits the story. Give me Jared Allen. Give me DeAndre Hunter.
Click.
Give me Dean Wade.
Click.
Y'all can have LeBron.
Wait. If you lead with Jared Allen, you're not getting hung up on. If you lead with Jared Allen, we can start having a conversation.
100%. Mobley, Evan Mobley's that guy, ain't he? Chill. You can give me Jared Allen. You can give me Jared Allen. You can give me Jared Allen. You can give me DeAndre Hunter, and you can give me Dean Wade. And we're gonna fill out this roster with some competent defensive players, and we're gonna rock. This may not be the championship team that we need next year, but we're building towards something. I'll take Jared Allen. Jonathan Kuminga, I'm cool off though. I'm so cool on Jonathan Kuminga. I'm so cool. And that's not even him being a bad player. That's just that money that he trying to fight to get. I'm not paying him that. I'm not paying him $30 million. I'm not giving him that.
If you
the Lakers would do that. I think the Lakers would
probably.
And to be honest, with you,
cool.
I think the Lakers
would
do.
Cool.
But the Cavs, that's a good look for the Cavs too. Bron is a superstar glue guy. You know what I mean? Like Bron is the ultimate bring your team together guy, especially when you already got incredible players. Like he didn't mention Darius Garland, so you still got DG, you still got D Mitch, you still got Evan Mobley, you still got a really good team. You
still got Lonzo.
Bron's the best player on that team, right? Like, world aware.
Yes. By the way,
we just made a list. Bron's still top 10. So like, come on, man. Like,
if you will.
he makes D Mitch top 10 too.
Yeah.
Mars, I'm sorry. I gotta keep it real with you, bro.
I don't know if he makes the top 10, but he makes the top
10. We've seen great players make other great players better. We've seen that. And James playing with Donovan Mitchell, that doesn't make Donovan Mitchell a better player than what he already is. 100%.
We got Chill on board now.
100% that makes Donovan Mitchell a better player than what he already is.
Come on.
I actually think it's the opposite. I think Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley actually make it a little easier for Bron to really be Bron.
Sit some games. No back-to-back.
I can sit some games. I don't got to play 40 minutes a night. I can pick and choose my spots.
Anyway. He doesn't have to do that anyway.
I mean, he got to do it a whole lot more with the Lakers than he would have to do with 3 All-Stars.
Well, first of all, is this the same James who spends $1 million on his body? You guys are up here talking about, James getting ran into the ground. He's the one that doesn't want to come out of games. That's him. He's the one that wants to play. He's not the one that's, I'm getting ran into the ground, like we talk about with Joker, where he doesn't have a backup. James is the one who wants to play a bunch of minutes. James is the one who's coming off the floor when Darvin Ham takes him out of the game like, I'm sick of this shit. James is the one who wants to be on the floor every night. That's him.
Yeah,
Didn't he just play
but
82
you-
games last year, if I'm not mistaken?
but you, why you bringing up old shit? Bron
Okay,
was
y'all
a 41 last year.
Here we go.
Hey,
No, he wasn't.
I'm saying, hey, a year in the 40s is damn near like 5 years in the 20s. Like hey, his
Unless you
perspective
LeBron
might-
James.
All
Unless you
all right,
James.
So hey,
Because he's a little bit different.
44 minutes a night then. Come on, bro. Let's get it.
We ain't doing that. No, Ron, relax. We're not gonna do that. No, we're not doing that. But you said Jared Allen, Hunter. I want to make sure I'm following you, JD. You said Jared Allen, you said Hunter, and Dean Wade,
and 2 first-round picks.
and 2 1s from Cleveland.
Stone it
If
out
I can get those, bring them here.
We
John D ain't
negotiate.
asked for no picks, but
Hey,
I
well,
mean,
John
I
D,
may
you shoulda
flirt
asked
with
him
one
so.
first. But if I can
No,
get
you
two,
can't start. You
bring 'em
can't
here.
start low and go up. You got to start high and go down.
I feel you.
Should have asked.
I'm
for free.
starting with Evan Mobley then. What the hell?
Right. That's where I'm
We'll
starting.
negotiate down to Jared Allen.
Hey,
Why
get
not?
busy.
Talk
Bro.
about
Get
it.
busy. Get busy.
So
That's
just
the
keep
dude I
calling
really
back
gotta
every time you
gotta
get
think
hung up on.
Yeah, you got.
I want Mobley.
I'm calling back. Like, come on, come on.
Oh,
I'm
ask for
calling
Kenny
back.
Atkinson too.
I see. Now, definitely getting hung up on.
See,
Nah,
Marsh-
don't
Mar-
know.
Marsh-
It was okay when it was Eric Spoelstra and Jason Kidd.
Exactly.
problem now?
What's the problem with asking? What's the problem with
Yeah.
asking?
that was different though. That was different. They got they got a coach over there. This my thing though, Chill. You got to think about the farewell tour you get when you do it at home. You know what I mean? Like, Bron not an LA guy. I know Bron's a cool dude and he's been in Hollywood for a long time, but Bron's not an LA guy, man. He's a homegrown dude. He's from Akron, man. Bron's going home.
I don't think so.
It makes more sense there, but I mean, apparently, I saw the article or the little clip or whatever that they said that Bron was happy that they got Luka initially, but he didn't know that they were going to be transitioning to this is Luka's Lakers.
Real
Of
quick,
course he had
what-
to know that.
Like, come on, like, what did you expect?
Yeah, he had to know that. There's no way he didn't know that.
He's better than Luka, so I feel it. But
Okay, so even if okay, let's entertain that for a second, right? Let's entertain.
Right,
him being
he's
better
he's
than
good
Let's do
enough
it.
for
Let's
him to
do it.
still feel that way.
Okay,
though.
but let's entertain him being better than Luka. Ox, in your opinion, Ox, how long do you think he's going to be better than Luka?
Chill. If this was anybody else, I could give you a number, but this is LeBron James. This is God's son. Like, I don't know. Chill. I don't know. I thought this shit was gonna be over 5 years ago. You know, like I don't know. Chill. I can't say.
Which
He's
is
showing
fair,
no
but
signs of slowing down.
yes, he is. He's not the same player he was 3 years ago.
Of course he's not the same player he was in 16, 17, or 18.
I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about 3 years ago. That's as far as I'm going back.
Chill,
He's
we
not
just
the
made
same
a
player.
list and put him. What is he? Where's Brian at on our list?
First and foremost, we all didn't agree on that. By the way, it's not like we all agreed on that.
But enough of us agreed.
He got there.
Enough
Ron,
of us did.
Ron, you would have
Yeah,
decided
but
out. What are you talking about?
Based on my knowledge of how cumulative lists work,
Okay, is Bron's top 12? We can all agree on that.
Yeah, he top 12.
I can
Bron's,
get that.
Bron's
he's
top
so-
8.
And,
So he's
and
still
anywhere
good enough.
between
So
8 to 12.
Chill,
Anywhere between 8 to
let's
12,
not
I'm
let's not
comfortable
even
with
get in
that.
that. Chill. Forget I said he's better than Luka. I apologize, y'all. Let's forget I
Okay.
said that. Okay, forget I said that. He's still
Rage
Bron is still good enough at basketball to where I understand why he can look at Luka like, bro, like, I'm still, you know what I'm saying? I'm still the dude. I can understand where Bron's coming from with that.
Now, with
I'll
that being
say
said,
that.
Ox, okay, I'm still, I might still be nice as you, even though I'm I'm way further in age, and I'm not going to be this good too much longer. You're going to be this good way longer than me. So there's no way that he thought on any
What
level,
about that?
right? There's no way that he thought on any level that they're not going to transition from me to this guy sooner than I think. There's no way he didn't think that. It's not like he's 35 and I still got the goods and I'm going to play 4 or 5 more years. I doubt James is going to play 4 or 5 more years at this level. I doubt that.
I mean, Chill, to be fair, when he was 35, we kind of felt the same way that we felt right now. Now, obviously, 41's a lot more glaring than 35. But
Well, he don't turn
35
41 till December. So,
Ron, you don't know, bro. You ain't never been 40 before. Shit. You never know.
How does it
and
feel?
by the way, yeah, it's a lot different. It's a lot different than
It
30,
is
I can
different,
tell
but
you
you
that.
don't know that.
It's a lot different than 30. Way different than 30. I got to do shit like go get prostate exams. That's what I'm doing now at 40. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Great point. Everyone up here should be getting prostate exams by the time you're 25. Everyone in the chat, you should be getting yearly or biannual prostate exams. Also, if you get a prostate exam, just super life-saving note, all they do is check your blood now. That's all you have to do. They literally just check your blood. So I got one. I got my first one last year, and one out of every 4. And just to be clear about this, 1 out of every 4 black men at some point in time will have prostate cancer. There are 6 of us up here, so statistically,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
So that's why everybody up here should be doing it periodically.
Now my pops just got diagnosed with that like last year. He got the surgery. He good now, but
you catch it early. You good. Yeah, you're good.
My uncle had it too. It's in my family.
They caught it early. So that's good advice, Swiper. Y'all listen to Swiping.
But anyway, Ron, back to the point. He is 40 years old, and the downside to this is because he's still so good at this age. It's kind of like what was going on with Tom Brady. Like we think that this is going to continue like forever. I mean, at some point, James is going to quit. So we clear. Like James is not going to play 10 more years. That's not going to happen, JD. He's going to quit at some point.
Yeah, I'm not back on that. Like,
right. There's people who think that this dude's going to be around forever. No, he's not. Eventually, he's going to stop playing, and we got to make the transition from James to Luka. Well, what I don't want to do, Ox, is I don't want to start packing the day we move it. I don't want to do that. I got to prepare to move. And I think that, with Luka, with getting DeAndre Ayton on the cheap deal that they got him on, I think they starting to make the transition from James. And I think James sees that, but I don't think he sees that in the aspect that I want to go somewhere else. No, I still want to be here and win just as long as we have an opportunity to win.
All right. Swiper, is it anything in here that intrigues you?
Not necessarily.
Anything you would like to speak on?
No, I hope LeBron does what's best for LeBron. The Lakers they're moved on from LeBron apparently. I don't know why John D feels this. It's interesting. John D switched up on LeBron like he's still on the team. He's already switched up on him. I think that the situation is very precarious.
It's so funny because I haven't switched up on Brian. I'm saying what the best trade outcome could be.
I think the issue is
nothing
that
I've said has said I've switched up on Brian.
I think the New York Knicks should be.
Do you want him on the crew, John D? Yes or no?
Yes. Brian's fine on the Lakers.
John D is.
Would you rather have Dean Wade, and DeAndre Ayton plus 2 first-round picks though?
Jared, Dean Wade.
Look.
Oh boy.
Look. They come to switch.
What about the New York Knicks trade I think actually would be nice. OG Anunoby and Josh Hart for like Braun and Dalton Connect would be a good pick. I've heard that before. That'd be a great deal for LA, given that they would get off of Braun and then you get those 2 players back next to Luka, because it's going to be Luka ball. It's going to be Luka ball next year.
Chill.
It's going to be Luka ball.
How would I want Josh Hart look on this ball right here? A nice OG Anunoby jersey in that purple and gold.
Ox, there's no way OG Anunoby is getting you to switch off the Laker cartel. There's no way that OG Anunoby. That's all it take, Ox.
I still hate the Lakers, but I love that OG jersey.
Because I was like, damn, if that's all it take.
I think that'd be a good deal for both sides, given the context. LeBron and Brunson and Cat would be horrible defensively, but in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, they can make it work. I'll pick that team to be Cleveland.
So this is what we got. So I got James. I still got Cat at the 5. I got who do I have at the 4? No, I'm sorry. I got Cat at the 4. I got Mitchell Robinson at the 5. I got James at the 3.
Yeah. And then you would
Mikel
have
at the 2 and Brunson at the 1.
That's a big lineup.
That defense is going to be foul.
No. All you got it. No. Mitchell, I guarantee. I'm willing to bet the Mitchell Robinson, LeBron, and Mikel lineups would be positive defensively.
We can't hide Cat. We can't.
Mitchell's on the floor.
We're going to get destroyed with
Mitchell's
Cat
on the floor.
And it's going to look great from an offensive standpoint. Yeah, and it's going to look great from an offensive standpoint because James is so good still at getting other guys involved. He's still as good as a scorer. He still draws doubles and triple teams. So guys like Cat and even Mitchell Robinson being around the rim, I mean, I think that would be great. The idea of having to deal with Cat on offense, Cat on defense, and drop with Mitchell Robinson, with James, who only plays in spurts, they're going to be giving up. And Mike Brown is going to be pulling out whatever left was on top of that ball head.
That'd be a better defense than they had with the Sacramento King when they were 27. So he could live with it. They could make it work. In the Eastern Conference, they can make the finals still. I don't care what. They could win 53 games next year, go to the playoffs, turn it up. Brunson, Braun, Cat, Mikhail.
Whatever LeBron touches that out east, they're going to the finals. And we getting right back to it.
But you know what though? Back to what John D was saying. I'm sorry, I know it's a little off topic, but Swap, you're not going to get no loyalty from John D.
How are you not going to get any
You're not
loyalty?
going to get no loyalty from
How?
John D.
Like,
John D, are
what
you
have
for the
I
streets, John
said
D?
that made me want to change on LeBron?
John D, it's not about Bron. It's about your lack of loyalty, John D.
Are you for the street, JD?
I see the man.
Are you for the street? What's going on right now? What am I listening to?
I'm gonna tell you why, Chip. See, he's only loyal to the Mamba. That's it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I seen a man go to the bubble for his Lakers. A veteran point guard. Go to the bubble for his Lakers. I was watching an amazing show yesterday.
My God.
Get his bum-ass franchise a ring. And yesterday, John D did not speak up for this man at all. Didn't say a word. And this man, Rajon Rondo, did everything in his power to get your bum-ass franchise a ring in the bubble. And this man sat there and watched and listened as he was disrespected on the Hoop Talks podcast. I couldn't believe it. No loyalty.
I didn't have Rajon Rondo.
No loyalty whatsoever.
Guard all time. That's my fault.
You didn't have to have him on the list, but you could have spoke up for him.
Yeah, you didn't praise Rajon Rondo at all. I was there praising Rajon Rondo, even though I didn't have him on the list.
What was the consensus list, Mars? I missed it.
I want to get people to watch the actual episode, but I can read it.
Dude, no, how about just do six? Well, actually, no, do 1 through 5. I want to hear 1 through 5 because that's the win streak part.
Bear with me. Let me pull it up. Okay, so
I ain't finished.
For anyone who doesn't know,
I'm gonna
yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, we did our top 10 combined. Everyone here was involved, plus some other people. Top 10 point guards of all time.
Bronson, on list.
Go back.
Ron was involved. Ox was involved.
So what? Russ had a 4 pick.
Bunch of people were involved. 16 names were given to me. SGA came last, 16th with 1 point. Rondo, Damon, Luka all came tied 13th with 2 points.
Wait a minute. Wait, was Luka qualified as a 2 or a 1?
Luka, he's a 1.
Luka behind SGA in votes.
No, he got 1 extra point. So he got 1 extra vote. Okay. Well, it was only John D who had him, but he had him above SGA. Walt Frazier was 12th with 12 points. Gary Payton was 11th with 14 points. And then the top 10 was Russell Westbrook with 37 points.
What?
Yeah, he came 10th. You did a lot of carry. You did a lot.
Did he have him? You had him at 4, didn't you, Ron? I told you.
He did have him.
I knew it.
Wait. But what's more egregious? Russ not being a top 10 point guard, or Russ?
He was top 10. He made it. He was 10th.
No,
he was 10th.
He wouldn't have made
He made it.
That's what he.
No, he would have made it. No, even if you had him at 10, he would have made it. He was way above Gary Payton. So you just boosted his points, but he would have been 10th. 9th was John Stockton. You did a lot of boosting for him as well, Ron. You had him 3rd. 8th was Isaiah Thomas. 7th was Steve Nash. 6th was Jason Kidd. 5th was Chris Paul. 4th was Oscar Robertson. 3rd was Jerry West. 2nd was Steph Curry, and 1st was Magic Johnson.
Wait a minute. Wait, did my vote for Jerry count? Because I thought we had him a shooting guard last time.
I told everyone who did the list that Jerry was going to be a point guard, and you gave me Jerry West at 4, I believe. So you had Jerry West at 4. I put him down as 4 feet.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that was how it ultimately came out.
Wait, say the
I don't think it's too
again?
bad. Magic 1, Steph 2, Jerry West 3, Oscar Robertson 4, and Chris Paul 5.
Yo, I'm very happy that Chris Paul made it that high.
Chill town.
Wait. No, but before you ask where? No, I just got it. I didn't hear. Where's Chris Paul at?
5th.
So come on, Jerry West.
Just so you know, Mars, we literally just talked about this last night, Mars. Watch, Mars. We literally just talked about this last night. Mars, we just talked about this last night because you already see it's happening.
Yeah,
You-
Ron
you
already.
already see it starting.
Ron
You
already
already
On
see
see
it
it
starting.
starting.
on basketball reference though, Mars, it had Jerry West at shooting guard. That's why I didn't put him on my list.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure you did have Jerry West on your list.
I didn't.
You did. You had him at 5th. You had him at 5th. You had him on the list.
Mhm.
I did on my list.
Yes, I'm
Let me
looking
double
at
check.
it.
You sure? Okay,
Unless
that's-
you sent me
that's
the
because
wrong
I wanted-
thing.
No, I wanted him
But-
on my list, but I thought he was on shooting
Let me
guard on my
check.
thing.
Yeah, you had him
But
at
hold
5th.
on,
You had him
no,
at 5th.
what question did you have for Chill?
Oh, shit.
Explain to me Chris Paul at 9th. Because I with Ox, he's not a Chris Paul guy. He had him at 8th. With Ron, he hates Chris Paul. He had him at 10th. So I'm gonna leave them to their own devices. Explain to me how Chris Paul is at 9th, please. You.
I'll explain to you. I'll absolutely explain to you how Chris Paul is 9th when you explain to me why Isaiah Thomas is not a top 10 point guard all time.
I mean, if you watched the episode, I did explain it yesterday.
Well, you got some.
I mean,
explaining to do today.
I explained it yesterday. I mean, the reason it was all.
So
out there. You can
okay,
watch the
so
episode.
sure. So the guys that I had, the guys that I had ahead of Chris Paul, Magic, Curry, Isaiah, Stockton, Oscar, J Kidd, Steve Nash, Gary Payton. Those are the 8 guys that I had.
Gary Payton.
Yeah.
No, you had Magic, Steph, Isaiah Thomas, Jerry West, John
Jerry
Stockton,
West.
Oscar Robertson, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, and then Chris Paul.
Sure. So those guys I had ahead of Chris Paul. One of the things that always bothered me about Chris Paul never was his game. It was his durability. His game never really bothered me.
Real talk.
Yes. Anyway, like I was saying, Moss, his durability is what bothered me with him because we couldn't count on him late in the season because whether it was a broken hand, whether it was a hamstring, something like that always tripped us up when it came to him. Now, when I think about other great players, I could count on them, and I could count on them to be awesome. Jerry West, I think Jerry West has the most 30, 40, 50-point games in the NBA Finals in NBA history. So I think he's got that. John Stockton, I mean, he played 20 years and was able to go deep into the playoffs, and injuries were never really an issue with him. The durability issue with Chris Paul was the main thing for me more than anything. It wasn't his game. I couldn't count on him late in the season.
He played more games than half the list.
But he played more games than half the list. He was involved in more games than half the list. But then he would get hurt. Like against, I believe it was against the Warriors, he broke his hand. When he played against the Warriors, he had the hamstring issue. When I want to say in 19, I think he got hurt in 19 also.
Yeah,
And not in 19. I'm sorry. In 21, I'm surprised they actually went to the championship in 21. He had that shoulder injury. He was awful in that Lakers series, by the way. I'm not buying the whole lot.
Yeah, he couldn't lift his arm. Yeah,
he couldn't even lift his hand. He couldn't lift his arm in that Lakers series. The durability with him and the effectiveness. It wasn't his game. It was never his game. It was just the durability with him and not being able to count on him when it mattered.
But he was good in 21. That same point though, like that one series, sure, but he was utterly dominant in the Nuggets series the next week, 25 and 10 on like crazy efficiency, and then the very next
sweep
series.
The Nuggets. Then they sweep the Nuggets.
They did.
That's 20. They swept the 21 Nuggets, and then they played the Clippers. He had a really good series versus the Clippers, 24-9, and then he went to the finals. I would say had a really good finals, 22-8. And he shot.
Well, he got the door shut on him after them first 2 games. Like,
yeah, but
he got slowed down.
But he went to the finals and he like carried him.
Yeah,
he played 149 playoff
He
games.
did
I don't know if people
not
realize.
carry them. Swipe.
Yeah, I'm
No,
gonna see. I'm Kyrie's-
He did not
We're gonna stay here.
Hold on, time
We're
out.
gonna stay here.
Time out. Okay, cool. I'm saying Devin Booker had some on and off games in that Bucks series. Can we agree?
as did Chris Paul.
I agree. I'm saying both. I was going to
Yes,
go both of
yes.
them. I think both of them had some games where they went over the top, and I think they had some games where they stunk. I think that's a fair thing to say about Chris Paul.
Yeah.
But we also have on the ledger the Chris Paul 14-15 year when he went toe-to-toe with Tim Duncan, and I think we all remember that series very well. Like he was playing out of his mind down the stretch of that series. And when Chris Paul was healthy, he was an elite playoff player. every single year that he had. And I think if you play in 149 playoff games, and I mean, chill, his overall numbers, like, and this is including like down years, and then maybe I don't know how much last time he was in the playoffs, he was pretty mid, but he's old now at this point. But 20 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, shooting 48% from the field, 37 from 3, like an 85% from the line in your playoff career. I mean,
but again, and I'm not going to argue that point, because the first thing that I said was I don't question his game. His game was never my question. I always thought that Chris Paul was a fantastic player. His pull-up jump shot going right, his pull-up jump shot going left, his ability to get into the teeth of the defense and find guys, no doubt about that. I think he was great. But when I think about Magic, I think Magic was better. Magic was better as a playmaker. Magic was better as a distributor. Magic was better in transition. I think Magic was a better passer. I think about Steph Curry. I think that goes without saying. Steph Curry completely changed what the dynamic of the league guard of what the league guard is. Isaiah Thomas, I think Isaiah Thomas was tougher. I think Isaiah was better in the playoffs, not just as a bucket getter, because I think Chris Paul was better as a bucket getter in terms of scoring, but I think Isaiah Thomas was more durable. Not only was he more durable, I think that he impacted the game more than Chris Paul did in the playoffs, which would explain why they won. John Stockton, I just think
why they won.
Yes, why they won.
But he was on the best team in the league on both of those teams. Though.
Okay,
but to be fair,
and the reason they didn't win in '88 is because he got hurt.
But they went to
the Chris Paul argument. That's the Chris Paul argument.
But he didn't get hurt. But he didn't get hurt nearly as much. But he did win.
I think Chris Paul's injuries are overblown. There's like 3 postseasons where you could say an injury.
And in those 3 postseasons,
he played 20 years, like 3 postseasons. Like, come on.
Well, even more, if the injuries aren't attacks, then that's even worse.
No, I'm not saying injuries aren't attacks. I'm saying Chris Paul was played. We're approaching year 18, 19. There's like 3 postseasons. There's like 3 postseasons where you can say injuries derailed it. 2015, 2016, and 2018. 15, 16, and 18. Those are the years where injuries affected him in the postseason. And I agree with you. Every other postseason, no. So I'm like 3 postseasons going to get him down to 9?
Yes.
Wait, what years did you say, Mars?
May I?
15, 16, and 18.
Yeah, but even with injuries, like Chris Paul, like if you're looking at these individual seasons, like he still had really good playoff runs leading up to these injuries. So when he was healthy, chill, he was still an elite player. Like, and I think, but to Mars's point, I'm really trying to figure out like where the injury ones are coming into, because like all of his runs minus his last one, because he also got hurt. To be fair, chill, he was 37 years old, had a hamstring injury in the Denver series. All those outside of every series like that, he has like had some really, 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 truly elite runs and played very good basketball. And then there's also chill, and you're a defense guy. Well, actually, this gets to the crux of my question. This is actually a legit question, and I don't want to start arguments either, chill, but do you think that
we're having a discussion about this, which is an argument?
Yeah. Do you think Chris Paul at his apex was a worse defender than John Stockton at his apex? Because I know that's also important to you in this discussion.
I think John Stockton was a better defender than him. Yes, I do. Now,
that's where it's tough though. That's where it's tough though, chill, because I think Chris Paul, and please everybody up here, like if you have a different opinion, please share. I would make an argument that Chris Paul, when he was at his apex, was one of the 3 best point guard defenders in the sport. And like I'm
in the league at the time.
Yeah. I'm trying to include like who else was in there, but like
I can't say that. I can say the same thing about John Stockton.
But I think Chris Paul was a legitimate stopper though. Like he was like an actual, like, not just a team defender. Chris Paul himself was a stopper. But to be fair, he fell off a cliff. He went from elite to sucks. Like once he got older, because athleticism, I think Dwayne. Not like, I mean, it was, but I think that is because of the injuries and stuff. He wasn't as consistent. Go ahead. What's this?
Yeah, they have.
We're going to talk about that.
I want to get into that. I want to get into it.
What is that?
Chris Webber at 90 is a Chris Webber at 90 is egregious.
Where's Jokic?
What is this? What is that?
Bleacher Report top 100. Bleacher Report top 100.
Y'all relax. We are going to get there. I have that.
Mars, you and I were having a conversation, Mars. I want to get back to what you said.
Trash ass
the injuries.
Why is it bad?
We'll get into it, Swiper.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
So Mars, as you were saying, like the 20 years that he played, only 3 years that he was hurt. Okay, so the 3 years that he was hurt,
the 23 he got hurt as well, but he was past his prime.
100%. He was past his prime, but the 3 years that he got hurt. Okay, so that's like 20% of his career. But with that being said, what's the window in terms of winning an NBA championship? Because you know how I feel about winning. I think winning is up there. I don't think it's the end all be all, but I do think that it matters. And with those 3 years that he was hurt.
No. 3 separate eras. I think the
it depends. Yeah,
era,
I mean, Chris Paul's wins are like Chris Paul was good enough to be a championship player from like year
to
1
2022, like
until like 22. But in terms of the teams
100%.
he had, what teams he was on that were good enough to win a championship?
And one of the main reasons why they lost was because
that's it. The Rockets and the Suns.
one of the main reasons why they lost was because of that.
Sure,
like,
I can agree with that.
And
sure.
That's where I'm at with Chris Paul. Now, when I get back to the list, okay, so John Stockton, I just think that John Stockton was better. I think that in terms of a ball handle, in terms of IQ, in terms of his ability to get downhill, not just
we've done it before. So
yes, in terms of a ball handler, off the ball on defense, I think John Stockton is one of the best defenders ever. Not one of the best point guard defenders ever. I think he's one of the best defenders ever off the basketball. Just as a guy who digs into the paint, a guy who gets in the passing lanes, I think he's one of the best. As an on-ball defender, I think John Stockton was still great. I think that he took advantage of his size, his ability to navigate screens, especially when it comes to big guys in the paint. I think he was awesome getting around those screens. I think he was great playing defense without fouling. Oscar Robertson revolutionized the point guard position at the big guard spot. I think I had Jerry West ahead of him. Jerry West, how good he was. I think his game in the playoffs just enhanced everything else that he was. As good as he was in the regular season, his game in the playoffs, he just kept.
I don't think Jerry West is an argument though.
Same thing that happened with Toronto is the same thing that happened with Jerry West.
But can I say that Chris Paul is a better playoff player than John Stockton? Especially like scoring, like Chris Paul is a much better scorer.
From a bucket standpoint, I think you can give the edge to Chris Paul because I think that was largely their offense, but their offense changed in 1988 because Malone now became the center point of the offense, and John Stockton became more of a distributor when Frank Layden got there.
But don't you think that's what aided John Stockton to get to the NBA Finals as many times as he did to win at a higher level? Is that Chris Paul never played with a player as good as Karl Malone?
I don't think so. No, because I think that he had some real.
I mean, chill. Karl Malone definitely helped. 100%.
But here's the difference. But Ron, I'm not going to argue that Karl Malone helped. What I'm not going to argue is that Karl Malone helped. Here's the difference, though. He got Karl Malone right after he got Karl Malone right the next year when he got there. So they both grew together. So it's not like Karl Malone became like he was this awesome dude, and then John Stockton got him.
Yeah, but I mean,
Stockton was already
player
there.
Though, chill. Like I think that matters. That's supposed to.
Stockton was on the team.
He played with Pete James Harden, by the way. Chris
Paul
played with
I know, but
James
that was a
Harden.
limited window. What I was trying to say is that I think the injury stuff in 18 is real. I think that's a legitimate criticism. But I'm saying that like the window he played with Harden, they were an elite basketball team. We all agree. But I think if he would have got 15 more years to play with like James Harden or whoever, I think there have been opportunities for them to win. Like, for instance, y'all, 14-15 James Harden and Chris Paul versus that Warriors team.
Right.
I think there's an argument that that's a different series. That's a different outcome in the playoff. I think the issue is that Chris Paul, those Blake. Now, if we want to blame something, remember those Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan team, not only were they limited in the playoff, Blake had a lot of issues in the playoffs.
Blake was getting hurt. Blake struck.
That gets compounded with Chris Paul getting hurt.
Yeah,
too.
Chris Paul getting hurt in 15 with a hamstring, 16 the broken hands.
Yes.
I'm with you. Now, my humble opinion, I don't think those Clippers teams had a chance to beat the Warriors anyway. So I'm not going to say that would cost them a championship, but it cost them the opportunity to see if they could have a championship. So I agree. My pushback. I know before you sent me the list, I knew you was going to have Stockton high. So I'm not pushing back against Stockton. I'm not pushing back against Jerry West. I'm not pushing back against Stephon Magic. My issue is Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, and Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
I don't know how those guys would be above Chris Paul, especially Steve Nash, considering Chris Paul's major longevity advantage. He has more playoff success than Steve Nash. He's the better defender than Steve Nash. You value the two-way stuff. Like, I don't understand how Chris Paul's below Steve Nash.
So,
personally.
like I just like I just mentioned with Chris Paul with the durability issue, I think with Steve Nash offensively, like we talked about with guys being exceptional on offense, making them an exception, I think Steve Nash is one of those guys, like Magic, like Luka, like Joker, where he's so good offensively and he's so instrumental for everything that his crew is doing. the way he put his crew in position to win, and he just had some bad breaks. Kind of like Chris Paul. Yeah, kind of like Chris Paul. I'm not going to argue that point. Kind of like Chris Paul, but he was there, and the efficiency and how much more efficient he was in order to help his team get deep into the playoffs with the limited amount of stuff that he had. I mean, don't get me wrong, he did have Dirk, but I mean, I can't discount how awesome he was without having Amari Stoudemire. I mean, that's a big deal to take your team to the Western Conference Championship with one of the best big men in the game, and now he's not there. I lose him for the entire season, and I'm still ridiculously efficient.
They still had a squad though, like, and we don't got to get into those Steve Nash team. They still had.
Yeah, Ron, you not having Steve Nash on the list was just as disgusting. By the way, I just want to put that out there.
Because
he's not on the list.
Yeah, Ron didn't have Steve Nash in the top 10.
He's not a top 10 point guard.
But how are you such a Hallie fan? And that doesn't make any. The correlation for me doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense for me.
The thing about it is, like, when we do these top 10 lists, you got to understand the talent pool in the NBA is rich. With Chris Paul being 10, I don't think it's no knock. I mean, you guys keep saying like you're high on Chris Paul scoring. It's not like Chris Paul was a 26 point per game scorer or, you know, a 30 point per game scorer. I understand. Hold on right quick, Swipe. I understand he gave you passing at a high level. My thing is, and Ox says this all the time, basketball's not fair. And Chris Paul got the short end of the stick. Those Hornets teams, they just were not good. First, second round exit teams at best. He actually made them better than really what they should have been. The Clippers teams, although they had a nice gimmick with the alley-oops and all of that, they weren't a championship team.
A real nice gimmick.
The Rockets teams, now I know you guys are very high on how good those teams were. Me and Ox kind of see eye to eye with this. I still don't think that was a championship level team. And yeah, they did have that one year where they pushed Golden State to 7. But realistically, how many championships do you guys really believe that Chris Paul and James Harden could have won? Now, even if you say one or two, I don't want to
could have won the one.
Okay, I don't want to get stuck on. I don't want to get stuck on that though. The point I'm trying to make is Chris Paul never really had an elite squad, and I think part of it too was, and I've said this before, Chris Paul. A part of it too was, I think Chris Paul was actually kind of too good for his own good. Whereas people seen him as a number one, and I think he would have been the perfect number 2 next to another just elite player.
That makes sense. That makes sense, bro. That makes sense.
Almost like Jalen Brunson.
If he played next to number 32 for 20 years, like that.
Exactly.
Oh shit. Hey,
or if he played next to number 24.
Well, that's the thing.
See what I'm saying?
If they wouldn't have stopped that, I think we'd be having different conversations. I think Ron's point with that is that Chris Paul was so good that people expected him just to be the number 1 carry guy, and he didn't really have, and so he was making teams look better than they were. You know what I mean? Like if he was able to play with another guy, like Swipe, I know you love Blake, but Blake wasn't that to me in my eyes. Blake wasn't that. So it's like if you had the opportunity to play with some other players that were, you know, as good, or maybe somebody that might have been better than him.
Dwight Howard.
If it wouldn't have took so long for him to play with James Harden, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not if he doesn't get hurt, you know, stuff like that. I think that would have done Chris Paul some good. Like if Chris Paul was just a little, I know it sounds crazy, but like maybe if he was just a little worse at basketball, he'd get put higher in lists because he would have been able to play with somebody. I'm saying, Mars.
It sounds crazy, but I'm like,
yes, it is crazy.
He could have got some better teammates.
Chris Paul's lower because he's better at basketball. That's just not adding up in my brain.
Those Clippers teams were not as good as people think they were, and that's just because
I agree.
Trying to build a championship team around.
But I do think that they were better. I do think that they were better than you guys give them credit for. They might not have been as good as some people think, but they definitely were better than we give them credit for.
They were a good
team. Number one,
they weren't beating the Warriors though.
Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument that's true. They're not beating the Warriors. But when you drop the defending NBA champ, when you got a guy who's top 3 in the league in MVP votes, in addition to having a point guard in Chris Paul, when you got one of the best sharpshooters in the game, when you got one of the best rotation players in the game, when you got stuff like that going on, I mean, it's difficult for me to think that from a chemistry standpoint, it might not work. But this is a good team, yo. and they should have been better than what they were.
Versus Draymond Green.
But still, they weren't just losing to the Warriors every year. Like you guys keep
But
bringing
they
up
blew
the
that
Warriors.
3-1 lead to the Rockets.
Mhm.
To the Rockets.
And they
yeah.
lost.
Well, to
And
be
then
fair,
Chris
Josh
Chris
Smith
Paul- Chris
in the
Paul
Rockets.
sold against the Thunder in what was it, game 4? He sold. 16, Chris Paul got hurt.
17, they lost to the Jazz in 7 games.
Oh.
Like,
Come
on.
wasn't Blake hurt? Or am I bugging? Wasn't Blake hurt?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just
think it was
saying, like Chris Paul
Blake,
had
I'm
ample
pretty
opportunity.
sure Blake was hurt against the Jazz, but
So-
I don't like shout out to Luke Mbamute, but like he was their starting 3 for like a few years. And like JJ Redick was great as a shooter, and Jamal Crawford was great off the bench. The issue is in the playoffs, those guys became mismatches. So it's like, oh look, you have the best bench scorer, but then the playoffs come and it's like, oh, we're attacking him into oblivion. What do we do now? Oh, DeAndre Jordan, he's one of the best rim protectors in the league. Oh, he shoots 20% from the free throw line. What do we do now? Like it was like they have good players, but in the playoffs, those players weren't as good. And I think the Clippers were a really good team, but they were never that team. They were never the Spurs, the Thunder, and then the Warriors. They were never that team. They were like that tier 2 team. And I think you can win with a tier 2 team. It takes a lot of things going your way, and the Clippers never had those things go their way. But they were never a tier 1 team to me. That's just watching.
But even
never a tier
Mars, even on top of that, for you to be a tier 2 team and win a championship, your star player has to be not only tier 1, but they have to have the ultimate carry ability. And with all due respect,
That's not
Chris
true.
Paul was just not.
We just saw your guy get to a final, almost winning in 7 games. He's not a carryability guy.
Yeah, let Ron tell it. I mean,
Okay.
Ron?
Now, with
fight
that
that,
being
Ron?
said, it is a different NBA. In that NBA,
So are we
with
air taxing Chris Paul then?
whatever you want to say, I'm just saying in that NBA, you needed it wasn't tier 2 teams like that or tier 3 teams that were going deep into the playoffs like that.
did any tier 2 teams win a championship in the 2010s? Dallas? Would they be considered a tier 2 team?
No. Anybody that didn't watch the Mavericks that year,
Yeah, that's
sure,
what I'm
no.
asking. Like, was there a tier 2 team that won?
If there is one, it would be them.
No, well, because it was
Other
Mavericks.
than that, no.
Mavericks, it would have been the
Miami.
Heat, Spurs, Warriors, Cleveland.
Warriors, Raptors.
Maybe the Raptors
maybe-
are tier 2
The
teams?
Raptors are definitely not a tier 2 team.
No.
Unless you
I'll
say the
say that.
Warriors are tier 1 by themselves, then you say everyone else is tier 2. Then I guess by technicality they're tier 2.
I mean, I think one of the greatest teams ever. I wouldn't penalize everybody else for not having that, but
Well,
I think,
I would just consider the Warriors like tier S or something. I don't know, just something different.
I mean, the worst team that won. Well, that's going to get nasty.
From 2010 to 2019, of all of those teams, the worst team that won, I think, is Dallas.
Team.
Well, yes.
I think the
Well, is
worst
it
team
fair?
is the 15 Warriors, but
I think so too.
That 15 Warriors team was awesome, yo. 67 wins.
I mean the championship
that was-
team.
all
I
these
mean,
teams were awesome.
I mean,
It's
the
just-
championship team.
But I think the
15
worst
Warriors are
the worst non-starting unit was the Heat. I would imagine. I think we can maybe agree with that.
2012.
Yeah, I
Heat.
mean that's tough. Yeah, those.
You talking about
But yeah, I'll ask the.
Yeah, well, I was trying to
I'll
think
ask
like
the-
like top to bottom who had the best team and the worst team. I think the Heat.
Doesn't
was
matter
just-
top
I mean,
to
that's
bottom.
the cost of
That
living when you
2012
got
LeBron.
Yeah,
LeBron.
I agree. I was just like
That
going
was
through
Bron, nigga. 2012. Then I don't care who's coming off the bench.
I thought Norris Cole. I mean, Norris Cole had a little run in him, bro. Shout out my
I
dog.
thought so
bro.
too. I like Norris. I like
Battier.
Norris.
Shane Battier was
To answer your
Who had
question,
Norris?
Norris used to pick up full turn people.
Yeah, he had to.
That's all he had to do.
Yeah,
Shoot,
he had to provide
So I ain't got to do nothing over here. Just pat. Hey, real talk. This is me on offense.
Yeah,
Point guard.
to answer your
Point guard.
exactly.
to
Your
To answer
point.
your question, to answer your question, Mars. So with Steve Nash, and again, the defense definitely is an issue. But I feel like offensively, he was just so much better than a bunch
He
of guys.
clears Chris Paul on offense. Like
I don't think he clears him, but I think he's better as an offensive player.
But Chris
I do
Paul
think
is like
that-
clears
Who-
mountain size
who's
defensively
who's
though.
better
like-
than?
Steve Nash
right.
over Chris Paul.
That
offensively.
part I won't argue. Yeah, but I don't think he clears him, but I do think that there's a gap. I think that I can make the argument Steve Nash during that time, he was, if not the best ball handler in the game, one of the best ball handlers, like top 3 ball handlers in the game. In terms of his efficiency, he took care of the basketball, which I care about more than anything. When you're
Chris
a
Paul
lead
did that
guard.
better. Just point out that Chris Paul did that better.
And And statistically, is that true statistically, or is it true just from the eye test? Because when I think about
check
Steve
the
Nash,
stats. I'm pretty sure it's true statistically.
Because number one, Steve Nash had that thing on a string, and he was the guy who, when I watched him play, whether he was dribbling in the lane, whether he had it at the top of the key, he never suggested that something wrong was going to go, where he was going to turn the basketball over. Whenever he got into the lane, I thought something good was going to happen. As far as Isaiah Thomas, I think that with Steve Nash,
You know, Chris Paul's never averaged more than 3 turnovers a game.
I did know that. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Chris Paul was better with the ball than Steve Nash.
Steve Nash, ball handler?
Steve Nash.
No, I'm not arguing ball handler. I'm just
turnovers a game.
I'm just saying, like, turning the ball over.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's more to it than turnovers. But
yeah, exactly. And it's different offenses too. Like, if you running up and down and getting a ton of possessions, you're obviously going to have more turnovers. If you're in that fast pace where you got to make quick decisions all the time, swiping knows this. Like, as a quarterback, if you just depending on the offense that you got, it's a chance that you may throw more turnovers just because the offense that you run in. So it would make sense that Steve Nash turn the ball over more. But I mean, they still both, great at making plays and stuff like that.
Jill, when did you start adopting this logic about the offense being so much greater?
When Jokic became the best player in the world.
Well, I've always been a two-way guy, but with me being a two-way guy, I've always been a two-way guy, but I've always recognized exceptions like Magic. I've always recognized exceptions like Magic, because when you got a guy that's that good on offense, that does that much as an offensive player to affect the game that much on offense, like, that can't be ignored. And I can appreciate how good you are on defense, because we've seen guys who are awesome on defense, but somewhere along the line that wanes offensively, right? Where they don't give you as much. And when I think about a guy like Magic, who affected the game so much on offense, like, that translates into different spaces. Like, as opposed to a guy who's awesome on defense, well, that doesn't necessarily translate. Just if he's just awesome on defense, that doesn't necessarily translate to different eras, because we can't have a guy who, like Ben Wallace, for example, who is awesome as you are on defense, where you can't score. Like, we can completely take you out of the game. You can't do that with Magic, because he's so awesome on offense. Same thing with Joker. He's so awesome on offense. And these guys are the exception. That doesn't take away from me not digging the two-way guy, because I'm still here when it comes to the two-way guys. Just the guys that are so awesome on offense, they're just exceptions, and I have to recognize them, and I've always recognized them. Magic is
that's fair. I just think that, like, in comparison to the guy that you're talking about, like Chris Paul was leading well above average to elite offenses for a long time himself, especially with him on the court. And then him being that much better of a defender, like, to me, kind of seals the deal as far as him being better than Steve Nash. So do you have Steve Nash like a top like what 5-6 offensive player ever?
I don't know about that high as overall players, but as a lead guard, yes, he's in that conversation. But to your point, where you just said in terms of leading average offenses, like a guy like Steve Nash, when I think about him being responsible for almost 50% of your offense, and not just as a bucket getter, just as a lead guard. When I'm responsible for half the offense, that means the majority of these guys depend on me for buckets. These guys don't depend on me to just score. No, they depend on me to get their buckets. They depend on me to initiate their offense. That's huge when you're in an offense. That's Chris huge. But here's the difference, though, Mars. Even if it is Chris Paul, I don't think it's Chris Paul to that level, because I'm thinking about Steve Nash, how much better Blake Griffin would have been running with Steve Nash. How much better Jamal Crawford would have been. Right, he did have Amari. And then that one year
he did have Amari.
Right. And then that one year that he didn't have Amari, and he won the league MVP.
Well, we saw Chris Paul with David West.
Right.
Still elite offenses.
And we saw Steve Nash in Phoenix without Amari Stoudemire, with Boris Diaw, who was really good. I'm not going to argue that, but with Boris Diaw, with an older Shaq, right? We did see him with
that didn't even actually go that well, to be fair.
Who almost got first team All NBA that year?
No, he was comfortably third team All NBA.
As a matter of fact, he was the only one that year that got on the All NBA team. Don't say with an older Shaq.
They missed the playoffs, right?
Yeah, missed the playoffs.
They played
82 games. They
Yeah,
played 82
that was
games,
a year,
and
and
that
that-
older
Sir.
Shaq was the only one that made an All-NBA team. Amari missed
That
it.
was it. That was a year the Suns struggled because
Steve
Nash
missed
wasn't comfortable being John Stockton. He wasn't comfortable throwing entry passes and playing off Shaq. He wanted to run and gun. Shaq wasn't trying to run and gun. It wasn't great. But like the Clippers in 2015, the Clippers in 2015 had the best offense in the NBA, right? Over the 2015 Warriors.
With the Warriors.
Like, I don't know. Like
it will make sense.
they were the number one offense in the league. With Chris Paul on the court, they had an 118 offensive rating. Overall, they had an 112. When Chris Paul was off the court, their offense was worse than the tanking Philadelphia 76ers.
This is the Clippers.
This is the team that had three
They
straight top
sucked.
5 offenses.
Like with Chris Paul on, like there was a direct correlation between Chris Paul's presence and elite offense, similar to Steve Nash. Now, I think Steve Nash is the better offensive player, but like Chris Paul was producing elite offenses year after year, regardless of personnel. Go back to New Orleans, go to the Clippers, and then you got Houston with James Harden. So you can say he was playing second fiddle, whatever the case. But that's consistent elite offenses. You go to Phoenix, more elite offenses, and Chris Paul's in the heart of it. And then he's one of the best point guard defenders we've ever seen. Meanwhile, Steve Nash is by far the worst defender on these lists. By far.
But that drop off
longevity
right
gap.
there,
Chris Paul's been better for longer too than Steve Nash.
Those drop offs like that, like when the player comes off the floor, I do think that can be an indicator of how good you are, how important you are.
Also,
but
how bad your replacement is. So.
That I mean, yeah, there's that, but I think
that
a lot of
you got to add that VORP in.
It has a lot to do for me.
What matters?
What are we doing as like what is our system? What is our scheme? It has a lot like for instance, like with Jokic. It's like if you have a good player and you see this good player and you be like, you know what, I'm gonna make him do everything.
I agree with this. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like he doesn't need to do everything. You know, we got basketball players out here, and so I'm not trying to say that like we're taking away from how good that guy is because Jokic's amazing.
Over reliance on one person hurts the team.
Yeah. So when you have one guy in the system is we're just gonna make him the system. He has to do everything. Well, this guy can't play 48 minutes a game. So when he comes out the game, now we're just out here. You know what I mean? Like. I think that's a bad system. I think that's more of a bad system than it is. This player's everything. You know what I'm saying?
We see that a lot with like really good players though, like Kobe when in that 05 to like 07 era, especially in 06, like best offense with him on, worst offense by like 8+ points when he's off. Jokic, Steph before they got Jimmy when he was on the floor, one of the better offenses in the league. When he was off the floor, one of the worst. Same could be said, but. And that does make a point, Ox, to where the Warriors rely way too much on Steph's off-ball creation to create for guys like Buddy Hield, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody. Kobe was the facto with just the scorer in the half court, off-ball, post-play, driving to the rim that created shots for other players. Jokic, you can say the same thing. So especially with Nash and CP3, who are consistently creating in transition in the half court through pick and roll, through lob threats, kicking out to corners. So when you are like just really over relying on that stuff, I could definitely see where you're coming from.
But that's the 8 seconds or less offense. It was built around Steve Nash. Like this doesn't work if you don't have Steve Nash on the floor. I mean, if I take Chris Paul off that Clipper offense, the New Orleans offense, that's completely different because I think from a talent standpoint, they weren't very good. And that's a young Chris Paul, by the way. That's not even Chris Paul in like year 7, year 8. But if you take Chris Paul off of that Clipper offense and you put not much less than, but if you put a less than like Rondo, if you put Rondo on that crew, how much of a drop off does that Clipper team look like if Rondo was on that crew? The distributor that he is, the defender that he is. You're going to lose some buckets. I'm not going to argue that point, right? I won't argue that point. You're definitely going to lose some buckets.
I'm not trying to disrespect Rondo. So.
You're definitely going to lose some buckets, no doubt about that. But you don't really lose much as a distributor, I don't think. I don't think that you lose much as a defender. I think that you gain a lot as a rebounding lead guard, as opposed to with Steve Nash in that 8 seconds or less offense, we're running. And not only are we running, I'm responsible for getting everybody else involved. I'm responsible for matrix offense. I'm responsible for all of these guys' offense. And with me being responsible for all of these guys' offense, that's tough to do when I'm consistently having to worry about my offense too. And
can you choose a name to replace Steve Nash with though? Like, because you bringing up Rondo for Chris Paul. Like, yes, we didn't have him on the list, but I mean, like,
Rondo can push pace too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you chose a very good guard to say, well, if you put Rondo on here, like, okay, so we put who for Steve Nash?
You can't replace
I'm thinking
Steve Nash
and I'm
with
thinking
Ray
about
John because
it.
of style.
Darren Williams, air for air.
Because of style,
I
chill.
was thinking
If
about
you
somebody-
put Ray John over
Yeah,
there,
he
he cooks over there in Phoenix, chill.
Look, Mars'
Yeah,
guy, Mark Price.
Mark
With
With
Price.
him up in
I'm
Phoenix.
thinking about a guy that's similar to Steve Nash.
They damn near the best offense in the league. I promise.
Excuse me. I'm thinking about a guy similar to Steve Nash, like in terms of efficiency at that point, because and not as good a defender. I mean, Damian Lillard was pretty efficient as a guard. He wasn't a distributor that Steve Nash was, no doubt about that. I'm not sure that he could push pace like Steve Nash could, and I don't think he can get everybody else involved in the game.
Go with the
like
Mark
Steve
Price
Nash
name. Gee, how do you think Mark Price is?
Mark Price.
Yeah.
I think Mark Price would have been fantastic in that 8 seconds or less offense. Yeah, I think he would. I think he would have been really good. But I think where the separation. I mean, I think you lose a little bit from an efficiency standpoint. And what I mean when I say from an efficiency standpoint, Mark Price could knock down the long ball. I'm not going to argue that. Mark Price could knock down, stop, and pop shots. I think Steve Nash was better at getting to the rim. And I think Steve Nash was a better playmaker and distributor overall. So I do think that you lose something. I think you lose something there. When I think about Chris Paul getting on that Clipper team, the fact that we lose scoring, we make up for it. The fact that we lose scoring at the lead guard spot, I feel like we make up for it where he could get those other guys more involved in the game. And I think that they would be more effective. Like I think Blake Griffin would be more effective with. I think Blake Griffin would be a little bit more effective because he would have to score more. And I think Rondo would put him in space to score more. So the space that Chris Paul was putting him in to score, I think Rondo would do that more as opposed to scoring. And I think he would make him more of a bucket getter.
Are you arguing that the Clippers would have been better with Rondo?
No, I'm not arguing that at all. What I am arguing is that if he was on the crew with Rondo on that crew, I think Rondo would have done similar things. If you're losing the scoring, I think Blake Griffin would have been more of a bucket getter. I think DeAndre Ayton would have been more of a lob threat. I don't think that they would have been better.
Blake Griffin would have averaged more than 25, 5, and 5 like he did with Chris Paul?
I just think that they would have went. I think he would have went more to him. That's what I'm thinking. Whether he would have scored or not, that's something different. But I think that he would have went more to him.
But Chris Paul was the reason why Blake Griffin was flying off the handle with him and DeAndre Jordan was because of Chris Paul's passing, though.
Fellas, we got to get into our crunch time chats. We got to move the show forward. But who knows? It may be a super chat that alludes to this. But shout out to everybody that has sent through super chat. Shout out to everybody that's liked the video. As you guys know, we are live Monday through Friday from 11 Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern. So turn on your notification bells so you can know when we do interesting things like, well, obviously the panel. So you can know when we do interesting things like go live on playback to watch Ace Bailey versus Dylan Harper tonight, or when we go live on Wednesday on playback to watch the Suns versus the Wolves. Come on, Molly, watch minutes. I like so you can know when we do things like our Throwback Thursday series that will be starting next Thursday. We will be going back and maybe watching old school Chris Paul games. We may be going back and watching old school Steve Nash games. We might be going back and watching old school John Stockton games. You just never know what's going to pop up on Throwback Thursday. But once again, make sure you turn on your notification bells so you can know when we do everything. And also, obviously, chill with Chill Thursdays and Saturdays. Y'all stay locked in. But as for these super chats, let's go ahead and get into them. The first one is from Tupac Westside 474. Tupac said, "Happy Monday, gentlemen. I'm not against guys getting paid, but in my opinion, Bron and his camp contradicted themselves when they said they wanted a competitive roster around them. Not likely, but if the Lakers can trade him, go for it."
So if James cuts his salary in half, I just found this out not too long ago. If James cuts his salary, so there's $53 million on the books. Let's say James takes $25 million. That opens up, I think, $3 to $5 million. If James takes the league minimum, that opens up $10 million on the roster. What are we getting for $10 million with the Lakers?
Not Dorian Finney-Smith.
Now, well, it would have been better if he opted out and then opted back in later. Yeah. It would have helped with the cap space. But to be honest with you, man, I'm ready for the Lakers to trade LeBron. I'm not gonna lie to you. Kind of over the LeBron era in LA. We accomplished what we needed to accomplish. We won the championship. We now have our future. He's Luka Doncic. I don't think it's mutually beneficial anymore for these two parties. To be honest with you, LeBron doesn't want to go out on some mid-level team not competing to win, and I don't think the Lakers want to concern themselves with LeBron and his needs anymore. I think they've fully transitioned to the Luka Doncic era. Let LeBron go somewhere, compete for a title in his waning year. This is probably his last year, more than likely. Yeah, let him do that.
Yeah, to piggyback off of
I'm
to
still
piggyback.
laughing at John D because Luka is just standing outside with his bags. Like, is anybody home?
Yeah,
I can't believe
100%,
you dudes, man. I can't
Like,
believe you dudes, yo.
to piggyback off of what Real Talk said, 100%. I appreciate what LeBron did coming to LA, bringing us a championship, playing with Anthony Davis. Swiper, you can make as much faces as you want.
Brought you Luka too.
I don't think he brought us Luka Doncic.
I
But
think
okay.
getting him Anthony Davis and then get you Luka. And I don't think you get him without Bron being there. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. I appreciate LeBron.
You are
James
a
coming to
toxic
LA.
ex, aren't you?
No, I just say LeBron. LeBron. I don't think people realize where the Lakers were prior to LeBron getting there. But you know, I'm with Real Talk. You know, definitely maybe time to part ways. But I do think not these Lakers fans. I think Lakers fans are forgetting where the Lakers were before Bron got there. Just what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's real easy to forget. It's real. I mean, not Real Talk. I'm sorry, Swiper. It's real easy to forget that they were Charlotte. They were Washington for 3 years.
Brother, the nonsense they were doing. 9 coaches.
They were Washington.
9 coaches since 2010.
Let's not forget that. That's very important to mention. They were garbage.
I'm not sitting here saying
LeBron brought your raggedy asses out the gutter
before LeBron got
It ain't no brought us nowhere. The reason why it's not brought us anywhere is because we're the Lakers. Damn it, we always get the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Not since Dr. Jerry Buss died. Not since
we got Jerry West. We got Will.
Bron was the guy that you got.
We drafted Kobe.
Jerry Buss.
Traded for Kobe.
Jerry Buss.
And then Kobe was retired in 16. And then we got LeBron
it's
2
so
years
hypocritical. When
They say that the Lakers saved Bron just as much as Bron
No,
saved
they
him.
did not.
Bron was getting packed up and mangled by the Warriors. He was I think he was tired of getting beat up like that. And with that being said, though, Swiper, I think we can all agree that the Lakers had put together some competent young fellas that I think were going to make a pretty good roster in the future. You know what I mean?
It would have been a great, you know, just above playing team with, you know, Lonzo and Julius Randle and all those players. Yeah, and Brandon Ingram.
Do I think these two Lakers fans are a little ungrateful right now? A little bit, maybe so. But I mean, I think you can move off of Bron and you know have a better team though.
Bring in some competent
you know,
players.
I think Bron. I wouldn't want to be paying Bron $60 million either. Right?
Yeah, somehow not wanting to pay a 41-year-old $55 million, like somehow we're ungrateful. Like I don't get that. Like I appreciate LeBron for what he's done for the Lakers. He's been here 8 years now. This will be his 8th year with the Lakers. He's brought us a championship. We went to a Western Conference Finals. I've had some real fun watching this Lakers team play. You know, 2020, amazing. I think the 2021 team was better. We just went down with injuries. But as of right now, Luka Doncic is the future. Like I don't understand trying to say like, oh, maybe he's upset because we're going to Luka with everything before going to him. That's the point. Luka's the young star. Luka's the future. So it's like if we can bring in some players like I mentioned earlier with Jared Allen, Dean Wade, and DeAndre Hunter, I'm cool with it. I'm cool.
Yeah, it sounds ungrateful. Thank you for your services, old man. I'll get the hell out of here. But either way it goes, the next super chat is from Masinko G. Masinko said, what do you guys think will happen with some of these restricted free agents left? Particularly Quentin Grimes. I think Cam Thomas and Giddey ultimately stay. Shout out Samaki Walker, Chris Quinn, and Lawrence Funderburk.
Shout out Samaki for sure.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's
shout out Samaki's daughter too. She a baller.
I just think his team's being smart. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to overprice myself. I'm not going to compete with myself. I'm going to let Cam Thomas. I'm going to let him go out there and find out what the money looks like. I'm going to let all of these guys go out there and find out what the money looks like. And if it's feasible to match it, then I'm doing it. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to overpay for these guys when I don't have to. So,
yeah, Josh Giddey. Cam Thomas, Jonathan Kuminga. That's man. It's just this is the first iteration of young guys on their rookie scale contract extensions that are getting the CBA treatment. So this is going to be rough, and they're going to get some money. But yeah, that 30 mil a year, no sir, Bob. It's not coming, especially for Cam Thomas and Jonathan Kuminga. I mean, Josh Giddey if I have to 25, but I think Josh is way better than those players personally.
I'm glad. I purposely thought about Mars this because Mars, I'm glad you're making that face because I'm saying it right here in July of 2025. Josh Giddey, 18, 9, and 8, and he's the most improved player next season. I'm saying it.
Oh,
18.
What did he average this year?
Yeah, that's
right. Average dominant 18, 9, and 8 this year.
Yeah, chill. I actually got my money on your guy.
He only averaged 14. He sucks. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
18, 9, and 8 this year.
I got sold. I got post All-Star break that much. What do you average post All-Star?
There was
21,
a stretch
11,
he was
and
hooping
9.
after the year.
Yeah, 21, 11, and 9.
He averaged 21, 11, and 9 post All-Star break.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was him and Kobe
Hey,
White.
Yeah, I don't care about Josh
if
Giddey's
he does that,
numbers. That don't mean nothing to me. Is Josh Giddey good? That's what it's going to be about.
Would you rather have Kobe White or Josh Giddey?
Kobe White.
Kobe White.
I'll take Josh Giddey.
What?
I'd rather have Josh.
You guys would rather have Kobe White over Josh Giddey?
Yes.
Yes.
Why, John D?
Yes, because I think Kobe White's a better scorer. He's a better shooter. He's a better driver. He's a better ball handler. I can understand with the playmaking, but Josh Giddey isn't the best defender. He needs the ball in his hand, can't move off the ball, and he's not a good shooter. I would rather have Kobe. I would rather have Kobe White. I would rather have Kobe White because I think he would fit more seamlessly in an offense I'm trying to build instead of trying to build around a ball dominant league guard that isn't as good to be that type of player. Like Josh Giddey's a great player, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's to the level for me to try and build a franchise around him when I can have Kobe White who can play next to someone.
If I have a ball dominant league guard, wouldn't that be because the offense is what it is? I mean, Mike Brown has already made it clear what he's doing in New York. He's changing the offense. He's taking the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands. Jalen Brunson is a ball dominant guard, but what is he going to look like with the ball not in his hands as much? He might look a little bit different. I think Josh Giddey, on the other hand, with having Matas, with having the French kid Noah, I mean, I think he's going to look a lot different just off his ability to pass. I dig Josh Giddey as a passer. I don't think we give Josh Giddey as much credit as we can as a playmaker and passer. I think he's going to be a lot better this season as a distributor and playmaker, a lot different. And I think that's why he's going to be in most improved.
Maybe it's just what I saw in the playoffs with OKC. Like he couldn't play. It's not like he was helping spacing the floor because he wasn't a good shooter. He wasn't good off the ball. He needed the ball, and he wasn't as good on defense, or he wasn't good on defense to where he made a case to still be starting. So maybe he does.
To be fair, John D, in OKC, to me, I mean, he's playing with a ball dominant guard, and I do, because you're talking about Giddey, like playing on OKC, like Giddey probably on no team is supposed to be like a corner sitter. That's not
exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think he's to the level for me to build an entire unit around him when I can have Kobe White come in and he can fit a little bit more seamlessly. Like, if I were to give the ball to Josh Giddey and be like, okay, you are the main domino in my offense, do I think the offense is going to be that good?
Well,
to March, are you suggesting
March, Josh Giddey, March Kobe White, maybe, possibly
entire 82 Josh Giddey.
Because it sounds like you're suggesting that you don't have that centerpiece in Chicago, but I do have a piece in Kobe White more than I do in Josh Giddey. That's what it sounds like you're saying, John D.
What I'm saying is, I think Josh Giddey needs the ball. If I'm building a unit, do I think we can reach a higher ceiling with an offense built around Josh Giddey, or having Kobe White as a guy that you can put in a rotation and he can fit seamlessly next to whatever I'm trying to build? Because I feel like an offense could get limited with Josh Giddey as your main ball handler, main distributor.
Is Kobe coming off the bench, I guess, or is he starting on like contending teams at this point? I mean, maybe
it depends what team.
The Magic, who would be?
Yeah, I think he could start on. Well, because now they have Desmond Bane, But it's like before Desmond Bain, I think he would definitely start on the Magic. It depends what team. I would love to have like more defense oriented team around Kobe White, but I think the Magic are a really good team to mention. You can replace him with Jamal Murray. You could put him in he can play with Jokic really well as a scorer, mid-range scorer, downhill.
3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Off the dribble. Kobe's his athleticism is like just, he will bang on you if you're sleeping around the basket. Like he's a really good athlete too. Kobe's cold, man. He's a good player.
All right, y'all. Moving along to the next super chat from Teddy Hart, a Hall of Famer. Teddy Hart said, chill. I'm not going to lie. It hurts seeing how low you had CP3. You better than that, LOL. As for Ron and Ox, respectfully, I expect that nonsense from y'all. Name any other PG ever that gave you that level of scoring, defense, playmaking, and longevity.
I had him on the list. I mean,
you did. You did. That's better than Ron.
Yeah.
Oh no, Ron had him at 10, but you did. You had him on the list.
The idea that like
I had him
have
at
him
8.
9, like he could be anywhere between 6 and 9. It's not like he could be anywhere between 3 and 4 and 5, and I had him at 9. That's egregious. I think he could be anywhere between 6 and 9. And I
You had him at 9 too?
You don't think
Yes,
he can be in the top 5?
I had him at 8.
No.
I had him higher than Chill.
If he won a ring, would he be higher? Chill.
Yo,
Winning
Teddy,
doesn't
what's
matter.
up? Just say fuck me for it.
But I'm saying, but John Stockton ain't winning nothing.
But he was better than Chris Paul, though.
No, but I don't think he was though. Like I think that's the issue.
That's where you and I
that's where we're running into.
But you don't. But that means you don't think it's a conversation between Stockton.
I do think. Whoa.
You have Stockton at 5, and you don't think Chris Paul can be at 5. You just said that. You don't think Chris Paul has a case to be at 5. Which means you don't think he has a case to be over Stockton.
Okay, number one, I don't think that he was better than Stockton. That doesn't mean that we can't have a conversation about it because I just said that he could be anywhere between 6 and 9. So if he can be at 6, that means that him and Stockton, we can have a conversation about you and Stockton. That doesn't mean that I think you're better. You don't think
he can go over Stockton, is what I'm saying.
I don't think he can go over Stockton, but I don't think that it's not a conversation. You can definitely make points about Chris Paul and John Stockton.
And you just disagree against
it. That's all.
What really confuses me about this.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna be objective here because if you make great points about Chris Paul, which you guys do make great points about this Chris Paul, I have to agree with them. Like for example, we talked about Chris Paul and Steve Nash. I mean, the fact that Chris Paul did a lot of stuff offensively that Steve Nash does. I can't argue that. That's a fact. I cannot argue that. As a distributor, he was just as good. I think that Steve Nash was better, but I think he was just as good as him as a distributor, as a guy in terms of his efficiency and scoring. I think Steve Nash overall as an offensive player, I think he was better than Chris Paul, but I do think that Chris Paul was just as good. Somebody could be better than you, but you could be there. Well, same logic when you bring up points about John Stockton and Chris Paul. You can make a legit argument of why Chris Paul is ahead of John Stockton, and you can make some good points. But I could also make some good points about why John Stockton is ahead of Chris Paul.
Okay.
I just think the defense thing is just especially in the era that Chris Paul was playing in. Boy, oh boy. Like he was giving Kevin Durant fits as a ball handler. Kobe, everybody. And then just not disrespecting. I'm just highlighting, like, well, I don't know why I said that. Kobe, whatever. I'm saying defensively, Chris Paul was giving people problems. Williams. They were trying to get off the ball for Chris Paul because they didn't want to deal with him being in their grill consistently. I feel like Chris Paul's gone through so many iterations with the Hornets. Chris Paul, what was it, year 3? 2?
You talking about the MVP year?
Yeah, that 2?
Oh wait, year 3.
Year 3? So year 3, Chris Paul with the Hornets. Real talk.
It was year 2 of Mars.
Almost gets traded to the Lakers.
He showed up in 06.
Goes to the Clippers.
Oh, it's year 3 then, chill.
No, he showed up.
Yeah, he played 05, 06. He played 05,
he showed up in 05. So
06, 07, then 07, 08.
I thought he showed up in 06. My fault.
Yeah, so 3 seasons. And then you get an elite MVP level player. Talking about he's going band for band with Wade.
Stockton
Kobe.
was never an MVP level player, right?
No. No,
Well, he was
not one.
He was a top 10. He finished top 10, but
Top
I mean Malone overshadowed that because Malone was so good.
And Malone's
Chris
way
Paul's
better
come
than
top
John
5
Stockton.
4 times. Chris Paul's come top 5 times. 1, 2.
Yeah, and then including
3,
21.
4.
So wait, chill.
5 times, 14 years apart.
That's what I was gonna say. So from 08 to 21, he's finishing top 5 at MVP voting. He was 4 in 21, mind you. And then on top of that, and you got evidence of this, he completely rebuilt the Hornets. We agree with that, right? He completely rebuilt the Hornets, gave them legitimacy, made them elite when he was on the floor. He completely, real talk, rebuilt the Clippers, made them elite when he was on the floor. And then he starts getting passed around the league because they say he's overvalued, he's overpaid, we can't use him. Completely rebuilds OKC, makes them into an actual playoff team. Everybody thought they were going to be dog water.
I thought they were going to be terrible.
You skipped Houston. They had
goes
the
to
best
Houston,
year in their franchise history.
elite, and then goes to the Suns for nothing. By the way, for nothing. They win 57 games the first year he steps on the floor, and he finishes.
They were already on their way to doing that.
No. I want to be clear about this.
They were on their way to.
Because they went 8-0 in the bubble.
They went 8-0 in the bubble. DeAndre Ayton got suspended for 25 games.
They were on their way to being really good.
No, but chill.
And
Hold
he
on.
did enhance that. I'm not going to argue that point. They were on their way to being good.
Okay.
Yes.
DeAndre Ayton was suspended for 25 games because of PED.
Sure.
Which is, that's a part of why they did what they did. But it is not even a question. Devin Booker didn't become Devin Damn Booker until Chris Paul stepped on the floor with him.
That's not true.
And he became I'm not.
It was just a different
it is true because Devin Booker was already.
Chris Paul made Devin Booker's life.
Devin Booker was already an all-star. But what happened is when Devin Booker got there, his efficiency shot through the roof. He became a different player, became a better playmaker, and it's the same thing that when Chris Paul was doing this with OKC. He literally everybody that Chris Paul's ever played with, and this is where my Fred VanVleet CP3 came from last year through November, March, when you were like Fred VanVleet, CP3. I was making an argument that CP3, his elevation as a leader, as a playmaker, as a floor general, makes everyone in every iteration of Chris Paul's career better. And it did, even with Wemby. They were like a plus 10 on the floor this year at 49 years old with Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul is being forgotten because he was elite in the 2000s and was giving everybody fits, elite in the mid-2014s, in the mid-2010s, elite in the end of the 2010s, and elite still. And if anything, it went up in the playoffs. Like he was really good, and then it went up in the playoffs in 21. And then now he's still like a contributing role player at 40 years old, at 6 feet tall.
Stockton was a contributor at 40.
He was a starter, Pause.
But I'm saying
so is Chris Paul.
The peaks of Chris Paul are higher than anything John Stockton has done. And I'm willing to argue that down to a nail. I will be willing to say there's never been a version of John Stockton better than 08 Chris Paul ever.
From 1988 to 1991, yes, he was. 100% he was. 1998.
Now, he was never as good as Chris Paul.
He was. 100% he was. Malone.
That's what's
no, it's not the accolades. No,
but I'm not saying that's all you care about, but you value that stuff. And John Stockton never finished like higher than 7th in MVP or something.
But John Stockton has 2 very important accolades.
What does that mean? So he had a much better player on the team.
We're talking about peaks. We're talking about peaks. The 15,000 assists.
He wasn't Chris Paul's the point.
So
just imagine. Hold on.
If Chris Paul can peak second in MVP and get into the top 5 6 times or 5 times, I forgot the number, 15 years apart, and John Stockton peaked at 7th and then never really came close to 7th again. And then I just looked this up in terms of the defense stuff. Chris Paul has the 7th most all defensive first teams ever. 7 all defensive first teams. He has 9 in total, which is like top 15 ever. So defensively, he's more accomplished than John Stockton. At his peak, he was making all defensive first team, something John Stockton wasn't doing. At his peak, he was finishing higher in MVP, something John Stockton wasn't doing. I think he was just a better player, period. I'm bringing up the accolades because I know you value that stuff and that indicates how that's what you produce. That's why I'm bringing that stuff up. So it's like, okay, so he's achieving more defensively. He's achieving more in terms of his standing in the NBA, MVP stuff, all of that. And then the longevity of it all, 15 years apart. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Now, to your point, So with the defense part, with the offense part, let's start with the offense part. So it's getting overshadowed everything that he's doing because he's playing with Malone. And not only is he playing with Malone, not only is he playing with Malone, those MVP years, like guys are like Barkley and Jordan and Olajuwon. Like he's not going to finish ahead of any of those guys. That's not going to happen because again, it's a big man league and it's dominated by the big men. Those
Chris
guys
Paul was finishing ahead of all-time greats.
Chris Paul was finishing ahead. Chris Paul was finishing ahead of all-time greats in a league at that time, which wasn't dominated by bigs. He was finishing.
What's that got to do with the players? Kobe.
Can I finish, please? Swipe a goddamn.
Because you're not making sense.
It
applies to Chris Paul. You're trying to make
it doesn't.
He's saying the bigs were seen as more valuable in Stockton's day. So
yes, they were. So at that time, Chris Paul is not finishing top 5. Take Chris Paul and put him in the 90s. Chris Paul is not finishing top 5 in league MVP votes with Olajuwon and Jordan and Barkley and Malone and all.
Tim Hardaway came top 5 in '97.
That's not happening.
How did Tim Hardaway come top 5 in MVP, but John Stockton couldn't?
So at that time in 1997, so the big man, not the big man, I'm sorry, the better big guys. So at that time, Olajuwon, I think he's in year 14, year 13 at the time. So these guys are starting to slow down, even though Olajuwon was still awesome, but like Ewing, like these guys are starting to slow down. David Robinson had the back injury. He wasn't what he was in years previous to that. So he still was awesome. I don't think, in fact, in 1997, I don't even think that David Robinson played that season. So those guys, we're getting on the other side of what those guys used to be. They still awesome, but we're not. When John Stockton is finishing 7th and 8th or that in league MVP votes, that's during the time when, again, Scottie Pippen and Olajuwon and Jordan and David Robinson and Karl Malone and Charles Barkley, guys like that are finishing ahead of him. When Chris Paul is finishing in top 5, in league MVP votes, he's finishing top 5 in a point guard era, which I'm not going to argue is one of the best. But he also doesn't have to contend with those other guys like John Stockton had to do, because John Stockton had to contend with those guys too, in addition to the big guys.
What year did Stockton finish top 5, Mars?
He was 7th in '89. Magic was the MVP. Oh,
but hold on,
Michael Jordan was second.
But there was I just went through the '90s. Glenn Rice had a higher MVP finish than John Stockton.
So did Chris Mullin.
What are we talking about?
Mark Price also came 7th. No, but great players, of course. But Mark Price had a 7th place MVP finish. Like Tom Chambers came 8th.
Chris Paul was getting nods over Dwight Howard. Like that's what I'm trying to understand. Like when that's why I stopped. I didn't try to be disrespectful, chill. I'm just talking about when you're comparing one player to the other. You do some, and I'm saying in this situation, you did this thing where you're basically saying, well, because all these great players in the league, that was taken away from John Stockton's ability to finish high in a lot of these rankings. But then
wasn't taking away his ability, those guys were just better.
But I'm juxtaposing though that at the same time, at the same point, Chris Paul was finishing ahead of LeBron James, who's first team All NBA, Dwight Howard, that same season, and then Kevin Garnett. So then the league still had Tim Duncan in them in it. This was 08 Tim Duncan. This is still like a prime version of Tim Duncan that's walking around the league at this point. Dirk had already won an MVP, finished behind him that year. So just talking about big men, Tim Duncan in his prime, one of the elite seasons from Tim Duncan. You had Dirk Nowitzki, who already won an MVP, and then you had Dwight Howard, who was the best defender in the sport. So what I'm saying is that, like, even at this iteration, not only were there bigs in the league that were dominant players, you had some truly great wings and guards in the league that Chris Paul was finishing over. And my whole argument was, chill, if that was you had you said 1987, that was the year that he finished 7th? That what the years, Mars?
89.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to say that was kind of his peak, and then he was running into a bunch of giants, and then
89 to 90, from 89 to I think the best version of John Stockton was from 1989, 90 to 1992. I think that was the best version.
92.
From 1989 to 1992, I think that was the best version of him.
But I'm saying that. But then if you want to stop at the Chris Paul, you can keep going from Chris Paul with the Hornets, whatever, then with the Clippers. And then you go all the way to OKC, and then you go to the Rockets, and then you go to the Suns. These are all 5 different eras of elite Chris Paul play over a 15-year period where he was finishing, to the Mars's point and my point, high in MVP standing still.
You guys are being nasty with this MVP talk. You're buying into this.
No, I'm not. You know why I'm not? No,
I'm gonna tell you why this is nasty. You even extending this is. I'm telling you shouldn't even be buying into this. He wasn't the best player on his team. No, that's why he didn't finish top 5 ever. Chris Paul was the number 1 option. Chris Mullin was the number 1 option. Glenn Rice, Tim Hardaway. Those were number 1 options.
Alonzo Mourning was the best player in the Heat, but
so with that, Alonzo Mourning was the guy. Alonzo Mourning was one.
Who scored more?
Okay, the scoring.
I'm saying because
Russell Westbrook scored more, and Kevin Durant was the best player on that crew. That was going on. He was leading the league in scoring. Don't forget that part, bro.
Kevin Durant was not playing those years.
So because Tim Hardaway averaged 0.5 more points.
It happened.
Well, I mean, he probably averaged more assists and all of that too. But I'm saying though, okay, we could show Tim Hardaway. Chris Mullin was the number 1 option. These other guys were number 1 scoring options on their team. John Stockton never sniffed top 5 like Chris Paul because he wasn't the number 1 option. We arguing a point that doesn't even.
But he still was. But he's and to your point, Miles. Just so you know, like you said, Chris Mullin? You said who finished higher than John Stockton?
Chris Mullin, he came 6th and
he finished 6th. Miles, what if I told you that Peja Stojakovic finished higher than Kobe Bryant in league MVP?
Yeah, he finished 4th.
Yeah, that
season though. That season. No. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop because no. Because I would never come up here and try to convince y'all that Peja Stojakovic was a better basketball player than Kobe Bryant. But I will say that year, Peja Stojakovic was going bananas. Like you were there, Chill. You seen what Peja was doing that year. So let's not act like Peja like that's just crazy. How did Peja get this many votes? Because he was cooking everybody, not just shooting the ball either. Peja was running the floor, even was trying to play a little defense. So you know what I mean? He was getting busy, bro.
Was this 04?
No, this was 04, the Kevin Garnett year with Tim Duncan, Jermaine O'Neal.
That was the year he was going back and forth to court. By the way, real talk. Yeah, that was the year he was going.
That's even more of a reason why he got more votes than Kobe. So let's not act like that was crazy. We was all
And to Ron's point, the reason why guys were getting more votes,
but the rest of us was there.
The 5 different iterations of Chris Paul. I mean, I'm taking the 1 iteration of John Stockton, who we play pick and roll basketball today because of the Utah Jazz. That's why we do it, because of Stockton and Malone. And the reason why that thing worked was because of Stockton and Malone. Nobody was doing that before them 2 dudes was doing it. And nobody did it as well as they did it. Everybody was trying to do it.
He says pick and roll offense was basically
everybody was trying to do this up until
I say Chris Paul was better in the pick and roll. I'm the bad guy, so I'm just
no way was he better.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
But to be fair, Chris Paul was able to utilize a different personnel than John Stockton was. I don't know if that's a knock on John as much as it's a versatility thing.
Because we didn't.
No, but I think the issue is
even though.
Well, I'm just saying, Joe. I think the issue is that Chris Paul had a traditional, I would say, a more traditional pick and roll with David West in the 2000s, and that was the David West that was likened to Karl Malone in that the pick and pop shot, the mid range shot. That's what David was, and a post player. But then Chris Paul then grew that into DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin, and then Chris Paul grew that into being with James Harden and PJ Tucker and all them. And then it grew back into DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker and the rest of the roster that was on those Suns teams, and now grew into Wemby. I'm saying Chris Paul has shown if I just need an elite, a traditional pop and shoot big in the 2000s, it's elite. If I need a rim running big, it's elite. If I need guards, other elite guards around me that I can play make with, it's elite. What I'm saying is from a versatility standpoint, there is no setting in which Chris Paul has not proven to be one of the elite playmakers in the sport.
And I could use that same argument. I can use that same argument, Swiper, because what you're trying to sell me is that John Stockton was playing with the same guys for 15 years. The only constant was Malone. That was it.
I'm not. No, obviously not. Yeah, obviously not. Go ahead.
So, all right, fellas. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. I mean, if y'all want to talk about Stockton and Chris Paul back and forth for another hour,
I mean, it's the off season. I mean, but we can move on. I'm with you, Ron.
It's the off season, and Bleacher Report. they just dropped the top 100 list. Now, obviously, we're working on our top 100, but it's current players. Bleacher Report dropped the top 100 list of their all-time players. And I don't have the full list, but I do have this right here. And we can just take a glimpse through some of these picks, and you guys can tell me if it's something that you want to talk about on here. But the first thing that comes to mind on their list is at 88, Draymond Green made it top 100.
Did you see who was at 90?
Oh, Chris Webber was below Draymond's.
Oh my God, man.
So is that a spoiler for when the power forward list comes out? You won't have Chris Webber below Draymond Green. Is that what you're telling me?
Draymond Green would never come into my thought process as a top 20 power forward. All right. Oh, that was too far. My bad, Draymond. That was too far. He would never be. He would never come into my thought process as a top 10 power forward. Never, ever, not for a second. No.
I probably agree with you, Ox.
Shout out to him though, because he
power
has
forward is
a
a
great
really
career.
tough, a really deep list though. Like so.
So yeah, I
saying he's not
probably was
top
right
20.
about top 20 then. You're right, John D.
You got like LaMarcus in them over Draymond. So
Hell
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, so maybe.
I mean, don't y'all got LaMarcus over Draymond too, right?
Find out in 3 weeks.
LaMarcus Aldridge over LaMarcus Aldridge over Draymond Green.
Well, chill. We got let's not talk about accolades. Let's just talk about it as a basketball player who's really bad.
Just ball players.
Yeah, who's really
LaMarcus,
bad.
LaMarcus
What was peak
Aldridge.
LaMarcus Aldridge? Chill.
It don't even
He
matter.
was
Like
He was-
2014 to 16, like that.
It don't
The
even
Spurs.
He's
The
better
Spurs.
than Draymond.
Well, last couple years in Portland, then San Antonio. Yeah.
he was better than
matter.
Draymond as a
Who you
basketball
got?
player. Yes,
You got. Does anybody up here have Draymond over Zebo? Be
Debo.
for real.
Prime
Randall.
Debo.
Oh, Zach
Like,
Randolph.
be for real. Come
I mean,
on,
15, 16 Draymond. I mean,
like, be for real. It's like, look,
I mean, but bro, for a career to really be a centerpiece on a dynasty like that, like I can't discredit that. Like even if I
I'm
think
not
Zebo was
discrediting
better
that.
on the block, even if I think Zebo was a better scorer, he's definitely like all those guys you mentioned are definitely not better defenders.
see, somebody said Zach
You know,
Randolph was
so
terrible.
they
defender.
definitely not better distributors. So like
Ron, I'm not discrediting that.
it could be the Chris Paul, John Stockton argument. You might be better as the number one option, or you might be better as the number one scoring option, but are you better for winning?
It's not the same. It's not
That
the
has
same. It's not
nothing
the
to
same
do with
argument, Ron.
Chris
It's not
Yeah,
the same
that's
argument.
I don't know.
Because
Where
Chris
you?
Paul, Steve Nash, them dudes are like, as far as who's better at basketball, they're actually here. You know what I'm saying? We can have a conversation with them and take accolades and all NBAs and all defense, all that stuff off the table and talk about who's a better basketball player. And we can sit here and talk about it for an hour and 37 minutes and really have a serious conversation. If we talk about who's a better basketball player, we talk about Zach Randolph and these dudes and Rasheed Wallace and these dudes, and then put Draymond Green, the conversation is over fast.
Are you?
I'm only willing to argue about that for about 5 to 7 minutes, and after that, I'm gonna be done.
Real talk. I meant Chris Paul and Steve Nash. My bad.
Oh, wait. Do you have Nash better than TP?
He didn't have Nash on the list.
Oh yeah, you didn't have Nash on the list. Yeah.
Which is, by the way, probably more egregious than having Steve.
Is that going to be
Chris
make
Paul
worse
There's
taking
no
your
way-
list? Is that making that
Steve Nash not being top 10?
top 10?
Top
No,
ten.
it's not
By the
that
way,
year.
There's
Ox ain't have Steve Nash either, just for his
But Mars, in my defense, that was an accident. I think I might have, because I had Gary Payton at 10. I don't know. That's a conversation for me.
Yeah, the number 9 is the one that needs to get off the list, but I just knew you was gonna put him on. So I was like,
I wanted to have it. I wanted to put him at 6, but if I put him at 6, that would have been my bias. 9, I really think he deserves to be at 9.
6 was the bias. 9 is the objectivity. No,
But shout out to you. You got Rondo tied with Luka and Dame. So good work.
Well, my thing, real talk, when I look at Rajon, I was paying attention to Rajon in Dallas and in Sac and stuff like that too, in New Orleans, in Chicago, you know what I'm saying, where he was breaking Scottie Pippen's playoff records and stuff like that. Even on those teams, man, Rajon Rondo was still balling.
Rondo was dope. Yeah, Rondo dope.
Yeah, the Dallas stint was a bit shaky, but
that's because of
Chicago
Rick Carlisle, and that's why I hate Rick Carlisle.
Hey, Ron.
Oh, you hate? That's why you hate
That's
because of
why.
Rondo.
We're not gonna Ron. We're not gonna act like Ron. You didn't have that one bad stint with that one girl. Like that don't determine all the other girls that you been with and you had good relationships with. No, we ain't gonna do that. No.
What you talking about the Steve Nash not being top 10?
No, I'm talking about Rondo with Rick Carlisle. I mean, that's the one bad relationship he was in.
Okay.
The other ones, I mean, I can't let that determine it. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Well, chill. Rick Carlisle, cut off his nose and spot his face. He would have had a better basketball team if he just would have let Rajon play ball.
Mm.
Well, all right, y'all. Draymond is 88. At 69, we have Kyrie Irving, all time.
Oh, so top 75.
Top 75, yeah.
At 49, here he goes, Ox. Yeah, you lose one, but you win another. Paul Pierce at 49.
Top 50.
So we just gonna skip Manu Ginobili at 75.
Right? Right? Come on. Man.
Wait, y'all don't think you can name 50 better players than Paul Pierce? I know we're not going to do that right now, obviously, but just off the top.
I probably could.
Probably could.
Maybe. Yeah, I possibly could.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you see they had Dave Bing at 99. See,
shut up.
Now look, 3 months ago, if you would have showed me that picture, I don't know who that is.
Oh, but now you know. You logged in. Yeah. Hey, you logged in.
Hey, Dave Bing was cold.
At 36, Allen Iverson.
Guess who's 35?
Too low,
right?
too high?
I need to see who's above him.
Let me tell you.
Who's
well, Steve Nash is 35. So
you said no, Raw?
Oh, Steve Nash actually is 35. Bob Cousy was 37.
And I think Harden's 34.
John Havlicek is 31 for everyone. I know Havlicek's a big player in this
J
race.
Kidd 33. Kawhi 32. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Stockton 29. So Stockton clears Kidd, Nash. But not, you notice how Chris Paul wasn't there?
Chris Paul's at 30.
No way.
Yeah. He's at
Throw the
30.
list away. Oh my God. Throw the list away.
Yes,
throw the list away. Someone had him at 18. Throw the list away. Isaiah Thomas at 27.
Somebody had Nash
Told y'all my
or
point
John
guard list was
Stockton at
valid.
18, and somebody had
This
him
is
at
a
76.
bad list.
Hey, where's Russ at?
Let me scroll all the way back up.
It's not all the way. Don't do that. Where's Russ and Harden?
Harden's 34. Harden's 34.
Yeah, Harden's 34.
I'm gonna keep scrolling.
Okay. So while you guys are looking for that, we'll keep it pushing on this. Giannis
48.
at 24.
48.
48.
Bro, this list is garbage.
Wait.
Yeah, I saw this.
By the way,
So just
Moses was
for
at 21.
context, real talk. In front of you might not hate this. So 25, Charles Barkley, real talk. Giannis is at 24. Dwayne Wade is at 23, which no, it's not like egregious. Karl Malone's at 22, which again for some people is not egregious. Moses Malone at 21, and then you have Julius Erving at 20 because they're obviously not counting ABA. But then you started getting into the other one.
Well, they do because it says it's accolades and it has ABA stuff on there. So
yeah, well,
they
they can't be talking about the same Dr. J I'm looking at. David Robinson's at 19, real talk, 5 spots ahead. And then Dirk Nowitzki, which is, is at 18. Jokic is at 17. And then they have Kevin Garnett at 16. Jerry West at 15. Oscar Robertson at 14. Kevin Durant at 13. 12 is Hakeem Olajuwon.
What?
Hakeem and Kobe are outside the top 10?
Yep. And then you got Kobe at 11.
Where's Jerry West at?
Jerry West is 15.
15.
I thought you
Hold
said
on. Do 15 through 11 right quick again.
15 through 11. So you had Jerry West at 15, Oscar Robertson at 14, Kevin Durant at 13, Hakeem Olajuwon at 12, and then you had Kobe Bryant at 11.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, there's a lot of really good players in the top 14. So I mean,
I think there's 13 top 10 players in NBA history. So
yeah, there's probably
3 of them gonna have to miss out.
Right.
Who are the 10? Who
Hakeem and Kobe?
Hakeem and Kobe.
For some people, it's going to be Hakeem and Kobe. Like, that's just how it goes. But
so
I think there's 13 top 10 guys. I think that's 13.
Steph Curry's at 10.
Hakeem and Kobe better than him. Okay, next name.
Next name.
Wilt Chamberlain's at 9.
Hakeem and Kobe better than him.
Next name.
I agree with that one.
I ain't doing that.
Larry Bird at 8.
Hakeem
and Kobe are better than him. Next name.
Next name.
Tim Duncan's at 7.
Hakeem and Kobe better than him. Yeah, I'm standing on
I'll give it to Kobe. I don't know about Hakeem is the
over Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan's
Kobe
supposed to be top
Olajuwon is better
5.
than
Tim
Tim
Duncan's
Duncan.
supposed to be top 5 on everybody.
And Kobe's supposed to be top 5 on everybody's list.
Yeah, that's fine, but don't take it out on Tim Duncan.
All right, well, you
Tim
guys gonna
Tim Duncan
find
ain't
out
do
where
nothing.
these guys' top 10s reside in.
All right.
Tim Duncan's supposed to be number 4.
Then
on
Shaquille
every-
O'Neal is at 6.
Hakeem and Kobe better than him.
Whoa,
Next day.
buddy, slow down, buddy.
Yes.
Slow
We played
down,
on, we
buddy.
played on the same team.
Slow down,
Hey,
buddy.
chill. We played on the same team, and nobody said that, mind you. Nobody said
Slow
that.
down on that one. Slow
Nobody
down. Slow down.
And then we're at 5. Bill Russell. Bunch of yappers up here.
Honorable
Hey,
mentions.
watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
He's in my
Yeah.
He too
honorable
low.
mentions, but on my
And,
official
and,
list,
and,
That's
then,
what I
by the
got
way,
going.
when we get done with this, I got a real
He
question for
too
y'all.
low. He too low.
At 4,
Magic.
Magic Johnson.
Mhm.
egregious pick.
At
Absolutely asinine.
at 3,
Have him at 4.
at 3,
Jabbar.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. At 3.
Higher.
At 2,
supposed to be number 1.
LeBron James. And at 1, Michael Jordan. I want to know, I'm asking you at this point, how is it, Chill? I'm real question. We got all this basketball stuff. All right, we do all these conversations. You air attacks people for playing with other players all the time, like other people do. You got the 3rd and 4th best player ever that played on the same team,
Correct.
and then they're 3 and
Ran the
4.
80s.
It's not an issue.
Correct.
Mind you, Chill, I'd be willing to say this. This is what I'm confused about. Chill. When Magic and Bird were in their prime, was Bird not considered the better player than Magic for at least 6 years in the middle of the 80s? From 81 to about 87 until I'm talking about into 87 when Magic won that MVP. There's about 6 years where Bird was considered, like people, the majority of people said that Bird was a better basketball player.
In
How can you
1984.
say the majority of that? That's why, bro.
In
The majority of
1984.
America resonated with Bird.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not what I'm talking
And-
about. But you're right.
and-
You're right.
and-
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I didn't
think
want to bring that up.
That's when I
Okay.
think Magic passed him, and around 86, 87 is when I think Magic.
I
passed
think
him.
Bird was better. I think Bird's better.
But you don't
And
Chill.
I-
How do we do
that's
that?
part of
Like,
the-
how does that work? How do we separate that for between those two? How, I mean, legitimately, Chill. How am I better than you? Like, pretty. I think pretty
Right, because
comfortably as
that's
in
not what
disrespect.
the list is all about, though.
I know, but it's awards.
You
It's
know
awards.
accolade, but yes, but you know accolades.
But
get
it
factored
doesn't
into
make
it,
sense.
like
If we
it or
play for
not.
the exact same amount of time and I'm better than you for pretty much the whole time, and then you're gonna say, "Yeah, you were better than me," while we played at the exact same time, but,
it
I'm gonna
wasn't
be
that-
higher than you. That just doesn't make sense.
It wasn't that clear. It wasn't that clear cut, though. It really wasn't. And you
I'm
guys
very
saying that?
comfortable.
I'd be
I'm
willing to
very
say,
comfortable.
but to be fair, Ron,
But I'm
I'd be
saying-
willing to
I
say.
I can say I'm comfortable with Magic over Bird.
But
And-
no,
and
but
it-
that's
it-
fine,
and
that's
it
fine,
would-
that's fine, that's fine.
You see
But
what I'm
I'm
saying?
very
And it wouldn't be
But
any
Ron,
pushback.
how do we?
I'm
But
saying it
Chill,
wasn't- it
please
wasn't that
correct me if I'm
clear-cut.
wrong because you were there.
It wasn't.
How is it possible that in 80, 79, 80, 81, I think it was clearly like Bird was a step ahead of Magic because Magic was still learning around Kareem. Kareem was still the best player.
There was a conversation. So in 84,
Yes.
in 84, when they beat them, the conversation was Bird is a much better player than Magic. He wasn't
Yes.
a better player than him. He's a
But Chill,
much better player.
I
than
am.
him. And
I
it-
got
a lot
3 straight MVPs in our prime.
Okay, all right. I
Yeah,
get
but a lot,
that
it go
part.
both ways.
I
A
get
lot
that.
of
See,
people thought Magic was better than Bird too. A
This
lot
is-
of people
this
thought
is-
Bird was better, but it's so like even
100%.
coming out of college, a lot of
Yeah,
people
Bird
thought
is the
Magic was
best player
better
in the
than
world.
Bird.
And the basketball discourse, and the
everybody.
basketball conversations that we have today are way different than what they were
True.
in 1984. So in 1984 and 1985, what it was based solely on was the fact that Magic beat Bird in the NBA Finals. Bird beat Magic. It wasn't about the kind of player that Magic was. It wasn't about the kind of player that Bird was. No. So now that we're here today and we can examine the kind of player that Magic was, how exceptional he was on offense, how much better he was on offense. Same thing with Bird, how great Bird was as a team defender. Bird could individually defend, and I think he was a better individual defender than Magic. But as a team defender, I think that as a team defender, Magic.
Wait, repeat that
I think
part?
that as a team defender, Magic was pretty good as a team defender. He wasn't
Bird
good
was
as an
better.
on-ball
Bird
defender.
was better.
I'm not arguing.
But see, Swiper, don't do that. Try to ask for chill. Try to
Well, I
ask
just
for
didn't hear
chill
him.
to get something straight, and then when you disagree, try to cook.
I didn't
like,
say
you know
anything. I just didn't hear him.
No, but that's what you tried to do because Mars did the blinking thing, and you said, "Oh, boy,
I didn't hear him. What was the blinking thing
don't
about?
do that. Okay, but if you're gonna do
Alex,
that, don't try to ask.
I was just
don't try-
hydrating my
Hold on, Mars. I'm talking to Swiper.
Oh,
Don't
I'll swipe it.
try to ask.
I'll swipe it. I'll swipe it.
And then try to cook what he's saying in the same breath, bro.
I didn't hear what he said.
And that makes the whole statement. Yes, you did, bro.
No, I didn't. How you gonna tell me what I heard?
So again, Swiper,
because you always do that shit. Because the way you come on, bro. You're not slick.
So
with
again,
that shit.
Swiper.
Okay, I didn't hear. I'm not gonna ask clarifying questions. Go ahead, chill.
If you're gonna do
I'm
that,
not asking clarifying questions.
you're gonna
No
make
more.
the whole answer illegitimate. So just don't, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't have it both ways. You can't.
I didn't chill. Let me tell you what happened. I didn't hear. I heard the defense. I heard his eye. I saw his eyes flutter. So what did you say that I missed? That's what I'm saying. That's literally what happened.
What I said.
You got it.
What I said was that Bird is a better individual defender than Magic. I think one-on-one he was better, but I don't think, and I think he also was a better team defender than Magic. But I don't think that we give Magic enough credit for the team defender that he was. He wasn't great on the ball, and I'm not going to argue that point. But I think Magic was a better team defender than we give him credit for. A lot better. He was better at he was an awesome rebounder. Not only was he an awesome rebounder, he was great in the passing lanes. We don't give him enough credit for being the team defender that he was. He wasn't the lockdown Dennis Johnson. He wasn't the lockdown Sidney Moncrief. That wasn't him. But you could catch Magic in the passing lanes. You could catch Magic digging
I don't think he was
in the
better
post.
off-ball defender.
You could catch.
I don't really think this.
And again, I'm not arguing that point. What I am saying is Magic as a team defender is a lot better than we give him credit for. Now, as far as putting Magic ahead of Bird that far, I'm not doing that. And I think that they're basing that on the success that both Magic and Jabbar had. I think that they're basing it on that. I don't think that they're basing it on the players that Magic and Bird were. No, I don't think that that's what this is about.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Chill. Accolades, right quick, real talk. Accolades goes into this. Like, whether y'all like it or not. Swiper said Bird won 3 MVPs in a row.
Magic won
obviously an amazing feat. Magic won 3 too. They
Magic
played each other in the finals 3
years.
times. Magic won 2. Magic got 3 finals MVPs. Magic got he's the all-time.
Don't forget college, man.
He's the all-time passer. Like, come on, like, let's not act like Magic. Like Magic don't have a horse in this race. Like
Larry Bird also
Magic was that.
I think we're all arguing that Magic and Bird should be closer together.
Yes.
If you have Magic over Bird, do your thing. I don't care. 4 and 8 is just I don't understand.
I got them 2 at 6 and 7. I got them right.
I
don't think that's that far apart, though.
They actually weigh in accolades though, because that's why I be confused on these lists when it gets to the Kobe ranking. Like Steph is at 10 and Kobe's at 11. But what are you gonna? So the one MVP, because Kobe has more championships. They have the same amount of finals MVPs.
73.
No, Kobe has more finals MVPs.
Oh yeah, Kobe has more finals MVPs. Kobe has more first team all NBAs. He has more defensive teams. He has so is it just it's the MVP?
Don't leave that part out, John D. John D, that's very important to mention.
Yeah, some people disagree with you, though, John D.
And Kobe's a better player. And Kobe's a better player.
He's a better player than Steph Curry.
Steph Curry has never reached the defensive heights that Kobe's reached. Ever.
Kobe's never in his life.
He didn't. Yes, I agree. He didn't reach.
But to be fair, like I think Steph Curry. The argument he has is that he has reached the pinnacle as an offensive player that we've just
okay. I've
Who
argued.
cares?
It matters. It matters a lot. It matters a lot.
No. I'm not saying that it doesn't matter, but I'm saying
a tier 1 offensive player.
That's what exactly. Once you start comparing them to other all-time great offensive players, then yeah, the defense starts to kind of.
Is Kobe in the same conversation as Steph Curry offensively?
What?
You said what?
Do you think Kobe's in the same conversation as Steph
They're
Curry?
They're both tier 1 offensive players. Yes. They're both. Do I think Steph
Kobe in the same conversation as Steph? What?
Huh?
Swiper, where do you evaluate Kobe offensively?
Yeah, like what do you think?
I think Steph has an argument for the best ever. I just don't think Kobe had one of
those.
So
do I.
Yeah, I just don't think.
So where do you evaluate Kobe? Is he tier 2, tier 3?
Oh gosh.
You know what it's.
I mean, tier. I don't. I'm tier. I mean, I just typically.
Well, tier 1, you probably think is Jokic, Braun,
Well,
MJ,
and
Steph.
the conversation between
Yeah,
there was a
that's tough. So
conversation
tier two,
between
maybe
is
tier
Kobe a
two,
better
like
offensive
Harden,
player
in
than
the
Joker.
next year. Yeah,
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I think tier
that would
two's
explain
fair.
the disconnect. They think Steph and Kobe are in the same tier. You don't. That would explain the disconnect.
I mean, that's real. It'll be John D. Minnigan. Maybe I can be. Cause I trust me, my list looks way different than it did a year ago. The Moses Malone, gone. Okay, like he's out. Like he's not even on my top 20 anymore. I changed a lot about how I feel about Wilt Chamberlain. He used to be way higher. He's not even on.
Anyone who Chua said Jokic isn't as good as. You know how they're moving down the list.
No, but well, true. To be fair, well, that's him. He believes that. But I'm saying that like, I'm higher on. I'm like in this list. I thought Giannis. I think Giannis is crazy at 24. Like I think that's like. But I also said Charles Barkley better than Karl Malone. I'll give my argument for why I think Charles Barkley better than Karl Malone. But whatever. Barkley, doesn't have the same defensive resume as Karl Malone, so I get it.
Because he sucked on defense.
Yeah, but he was plus 10
But
in relative true shooting, so you love him.
No, I think he was just also a dog. Like just
Yeah,
if we're doing true shooting, Kobe wouldn't. Never mind. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but that's
Come
why
on, that's
you
only
love
what you think
him.
he's tier two.
Charles
That's
Barkley was a
tier two.
dominant.
Let's do it.
But Charles Barkley was also a dominant scorer rebounder. Like I think that's like where
So was Malone.
we change. And I don't personally. I'm
And
taking.
so
And he had a 64
I'd rather have
true
Charles
shooting,
Barkley's
and you
peak. You people can say there's some bias in that because it's more that might be more anti something than pro something, which I'm fair. I'm willing to reside in that pool.
Yeah.
But I just think that for me personally, I don't really see the Kobe Steph argument when it comes to offense. But that's me.
I mean, but the thing
You
is,
think that there's a what? Hold on, John D. Please stay right there.
Yeah, there's a
You
gap.
think that there's a significant gap between Kobe
There's a big enough gap between
and Bryant?
maybe the best
Based
ever
on what?
and Kobe
What
Bryant.
do we do? What are we doing with that? Why is there? What's the separation?
please, I would love to get in this. Like,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, John D. Go ahead.
For example, I have Steph as the greatest offensive peak of all time. I have Kobe at 7. So like, that would be my gap. But from like 5 to 7, I don't think there's as big of a from 1 to 7, that's my gap. From 1 to 7, because I have Kobe as the 7th greatest offensive peak ever. I have Steph at 1. So I think that would be the gap. But as far as like Kobe offensively, like I feel like guys that are like primary scorers, we kind of overlook like how much that does for a team. Like Kobe as a scorer made that 06 team look like one of the better offenses in the league with him on the floor. And that's because he was a multi-level scorer as an off-ball player, as a post player, driving downhill, passing out of double teams, all of that he did for that offense. And when he wasn't on the floor, it didn't look like they can generate looks at all. Like Lamar Odom was solid, but it was like, it didn't look like they could generate consistent offense with him off the floor. So I still think Kobe is like, if you're not going to say tier 1, then maybe like the first in tier 2 or the top tier.
Well, is he in the same place as Harden for you?
Is he in the same place as Harden? Yes.
Is Harden ahead of him on your list?
No, he's not.
And that's what
Are we not talking about playoffs? Like, do we not talk about playoffs and how
you think James Harden's a better offensive player than Kobe?
Yes, he does.
This is what I'm talking. This is what I'm talking about.
I'm just trying to get an understanding. You think James Harden's a better offensive player than Kobe?
I mean, I think it matters. Like, and again, if we're doing the playoffs, like I'm trying to be fair here. Like, if you're including the playoffs, you said the playoffs are big. That's where the drop for Harden is. I'm fine, but I do think regular season, like, which is a lot of games, mind you, like it's like hundreds of games. Like, I think James Harden reached a place offensively that Kobe didn't reach.
Not even regular season, big dog.
But I think
not even regular season.
What are we talking about?
Not even regular season.
It doesn't need to get emotional.
That guy.
This is something I've already said. I said this the other day in the draft.
Okay.
I think James Harden is had the best perimeter scoring seasons as an isolation defender that we've seen this side of Jordan. And I think his ability to drive, shoot, pass, layup, all that stuff, like the finishing from James Harden was elite. And I think if you just ask me,
Kobe's a better finisher.
Go ahead.
No. Finish your statement. I just
think
want to
Kobe's
let you know I got.
I'm not, like I said, I'm comparing them like player for player. I would probably still take Harden because I think Harden, what he did from basically, especially just even 17 to 19 alone, I think are better offensive seasons than what Kobe's had. But if you told me 6 to 8 for Kobe, I could see your argument as well. But I'm not saying they're in a crazy. There's like a gap, but I think those two players are in similar tier. I probably would lean Harden. I think Harden's 19 years.
What if Harden carried that over to the playoffs? Like I would really I would understand because James Harden has a tougher shot diet for the playoffs. when we talk about off dribble 3-point shooting and the volume of that in a playoff setting, to where if they're falling, and this is not me saying that James Harden is just this awful playoff player, but Kobe's probably one of the best playoff risers we've seen, and the multitude of assets he has to score, whether it's in the mid-range, whether it's driving, whether it's out of the post, whether it's off ball. He was also a really good pick and roll player and a really good isolation player as well. And that stuff carried over to the playoffs. In fact, a lot of people would say he was better in the playoffs because of the tough shot making, the play making, the driving to the rim, and then the off ball creation as well. So what just draws me back from Harden is the postseason. The postseason. That's not me saying, oh, he's an awful playoff performer, but it's just that's a really hard shot diet to live on.
That matters, John D. That matters, man.
It does, but I feel like that's what I'm saying. That's
matters,
a little,
man.
That's just a little.
No, it's not, Swiper.
No, but hear me out. But hear me out. I think that's the reason why that's a little hard for me with the Harden thing. Again, I'm not a Harden apologist. I think we all know that. It's not mine. I do think it matters, though, that Kobe being able to, and I'm saying he also elevated. Kobe showed up in moments. He also had some bad moments in the NBA Finals from that 0-1 2-4 run. I think he had some really low moments, had some really high moments. I think him being able to kind of learn and accelerate as an offensive player in a playoff setting next to Shaq, that was something that aided him tremendously. And I think he had to step into that. And I think Kobe, is it fair to say 2 of those 4 finals wasn't great? Like 2 of those 4, one was really young. And then you get 0-4 versus the Pistons.
Which one are you talking about?
The first one with Kobe. Yeah,
the one where he got intentionally hurt, right? And then which other one?
Well, the 4.
The
0-4.
The one where Shaq gets benched and he puts the team on his back.
Kobe sucked in the 0-4 finals.
He did suck in the 0-4 finals.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
But it was against.
Watch Manu Ginobili torch that defense the next year.
No, in fact.
We not.
Well, I think Kobe gets he gets whatever.
I mean,
it wasn't good. So, but I think
the one in 2000, like Jalen Rose has admittedly come out and said, "I purposely injured Kobe that series."
I don't know how true that is.
So then we get those 2 final series. I think Harden does have some L's over.
Harden had a stinker finals
in 2012,
which wasn't an anomaly, by the way.
Then we can go to even this Harden this last year. Ooh, stinky cheese, like up and down series, disappearing acts. Like we've seen it. Like Harden, where did you go? Like I agree with you, real talk. 23, they for damn sure should have got out of that series. James Harden was nowhere to be seen in Game 7. So like he absolutely has some L's on his roster.
6-2.
I think Harden's winning this Twitter poll. Can't believe
I think Kobe, had the
shout out to James Harden, man.
Yeah. So anyway,
I think to your point.
Yeah.
To your point, John D, the legend is made in the regular season and it's enhanced in the playoffs. And for Bryant, there were so many moments in the playoffs. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to have an offensive player and scorer in the same. Okay, you being a scorer is part of you being a great offensive player. And those 2 things are different, right? So Bryant as a scorer and as a bucket getter in the postseason, I think it trumps anything else that James Harden did, because I think that Bryant had those moments that James Harden, we expected him to have when he had those regular seasons, and he didn't. And because he didn't, I think that's where the separation comes when it comes to James Harden. I won't argue James Harden as a distributor. James Harden, one of the best passes that I ever seen. Bryant was a fantastic passer and distributor. Because Chucky Brown couldn't knock down an open shot, right? Because Maurice Evans couldn't finish around the rim. I mean, I'm not going to hold that against Kobe Bryant in terms of him being an offensive player. But what I am going to say is when I watch Bryant as a bucket getter, so like I said, in 2001, the best game that I've ever witnessed in my whole life in the playoffs with my own eyes. I was in the building when he put 48 and 16 on that Sacramento team. It was the best thing that I'd ever seen in the playoffs from any player, right? So when you're talking about a bucket getter, I can't see James Harden giving me anything like that. I haven't seen him do anything like that. And I've also seen Bryant. There have been some great games from James Harden. There hasn't been anything like what I saw in that aspect. I didn't see James Harden do what Bryant did in 2010 against the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals when he tapped Coach Gentry on the ass after they bounced him. Like, I haven't seen James Harden play to that level as a bucket getter. That's what I'm thinking about, right? So I'm not going to say that James Harden wasn't a fantastic offensive player, but I think the separation with Bryant is Bryant's ability as a bucket getter. I think that's what trumps him over James Harden.
Fellas, we got to get to these crunch time chats. Sorry, real talk. We got to get to these crunch time chats. And then during this last hour, we're going to dive into our player list. But Kicking off the Crunch Time chats, my man Bob Solo or Cowboy Bob says, stop with the trades for the Knicks. Knicks need defense. Huck Porty, 2 blocks a game, looks good. Knicks need defense like we had before Cat. Stop trading Knicks. You don't know Knicks. Go New York, go.
I think he's talking to me. I don't know OG Anunoby, apparently. Shout out to once should have been Denver Nugget, OG Anunoby. It's my dog.
We got another super chat from DSG Piccolo. DSG said, hey, John D, I hear the Lakers want tissue.
No, Matisse.
What Tease? Oh, I heard the Lakers want Tease. All I got.
I'm boxing this dude when I see him, John D. We boxing.
Yo,
I swear to
hey,
God.
True,
We are boxing when I see this dude. I swear. We are boxing when I see this dude.
Hey, John D, I hear the Lakers want tissue. All y'all got to do is take on a slightly used JG, Jeremy Grant, and you can have him. He's 3-D. Just give us some expiring contracts and connect. Genuinely trying
John
to help.
Stop. Because you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to sell you his big TV, the real nice one, but he also wants you to take that raggedy-ass furniture, too.
That big-ass TV is a Wendy's menu.
Get that shit out of here. Hell no. He wants you to take that raggedy-ass furniture, too. No, I ain't taking that.
Man,
you guys don't think Jeremy Grant can be a good role player for a team that's trying to compete?
Not saying that. It's the
Jeremy Grant's a good basketball
player. Be able to
you aren't paying him. Who cares? It's not coming out of your pocket.
Contract's crazy, but he's a really good basketball player.
Yeah, he can help for sure. I'm just not. Now, Tisa is very intriguing, but if it comes with the price of Jeremy Grant,
there was a day where I wanted Matisse Thybulle bad. Was he making 11 mil? No.
Yeah, he's making like $11 million. Him and Gabe Vincent, they match up perfectly.
He shot like 43% free.
You crunch the numbers. You crunch the numbers. Okay.
I believe that.
You know how many times I did that in 2K? You don't understand.
Shout out Tease. Antoine El Host Ron said, Mars, are you overall high on Keyshawn George than you were previously? He generates stocks at a high level. Also, Trey is Gen Z Ray Allen, elite shooter.
Trey Johnson. Yeah, I think Keyshawn a big part of the Wizards core. I don't know, like
Trey.
The Wizards have so many intriguing young guys. Alex R just had like 8 blocks.
He had a good game.
I don't know, like, because I don't know what like the priority order is, if that makes sense, in terms of the guys they got. Trey Johnson looks nice. That's all I know.
Real good.
Nice.
I tried.
Trey Johnson looks nice. Trey Johnson looks nice. So I don't know. The Wizards got one of them good problems. They got a bunch of young guys. They got to explore, see who is worthwhile. My money would probably be on Trey, Bilal, and Alex R being the core 3, and then Keyshawn I think can be a good role player. Nice defensively, can knock down 3. Keyshawn can be a good role player. I'm intrigued with what Cam Whitmore's gonna do over there. Bob. They got some names, man.
They do, man.
Yeah, the Wizards gonna be a fun watch. They're gonna win 11 games, but they're gonna be fun.
They're gonna be fun. They're gonna be fun. I'm telling you.
The Wizards are my bet. The Wizards are my bet to start the season like 6-4, and everyone's like, the Wizards gonna be in the play-in. The Wizards gonna be in the play-in, and then they end the season 17-65. They're my bet for that. They're my bet.
Oh no, Mars. This might be the year they get to the place.
They go get not Bub Karen. They go get Cam Boozer. Oh my God.
I love this kid that last year, and I'm still standing on it. I think that he's going to be one of the best defensive players in the game, and we're going to have a conversation about him being the best defensive player in the game at some point. I'm sure about it.
Wemby exists, but yeah,
Wemby 100%
exists. Really good upside.
I think we're going to have a conversation at some point about Sarr being the best defensive player in the game, and he gets pushed off his spots a little bit, and I think that's largely due to him still being young. I don't think that he knows what he's doing yet as an offense, as a scorer. I think once we get to that point, I think he could be a 17, 18 a game guy.
Yeah, chill. And then that's when Drew Timmy said, "Hold my beer."
Hold
my beer.
Ron, your guy, Diego, he's intriguing me. He's intriguing me. No, I'll say that. Diego is intriguing me.
Look at that. League hoops today. I'm
looking forward to that.
Void Century said, John D, you gonna take Andrew Wiggins and Terry Rozier for LeBron, and you gonna like it.
I'm not gonna like anything. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. If that means, I mean, if we can get Andrew Wiggins, cool. But I do not want Terry Rozier in purple and gold. I do not. Do not.
Nija Americano sent through a super chat and said the Cavs are a second apron team and they can't aggregate salary for a trade. So they have to trade 2 of Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, and Allen.
Bro,
Damn.
Jared and
Mobley and
Darius.
Mitchell. Let's do it.
Mobley and Mitchell? Oh, man.
Hey, that Knicks trade works for y'all, John D. I think you should get on board with that.
What about if we, like theoretically, if we did get like Allen and Garland, could Garland be like the
That
Kyrie?
backcourt. Oh.
Yeah, Garlands and Luka. That's what you want. Yeah.
And you sprinkling AR.
I mean, did you want Kyrie and Luka for real? Like,
I mean, Kyrie's a better defender. Matter of fact, I think it's time for me to just say this.
but it's not.
Kyrie's
not
been a
like-
positive guard defender for 2 years now. I think we should.
I said Kyrie's a skilled defender, and people will get mad at me. So,
But it's not. But I'm saying, even still, ideally, it's not ideal to have Kyrie and Luka as the.
I mean, you
your
got Derek
guard
Lively and
defenders.
PJ and Gafford.
it's
Yeah, I
below.
mean,
that's what I'm saying.
It's below not ideal to have Austin Reeves, Darius Garland, and Luka.
If the Lakers
Oh, no,
trade
I'm
Braun
assuming
for
Austin
Darius
is
Garland
gone.
and Jared
Yeah,
Allen,
I'm
they're
assuming
they're
Austin
instant
is gone.
championship contenders.
That's
oh
true.
boy. Oh boy.
We're gonna have to
I
get
like-
on-
I know. We'll talk about. Oh,
Yeah.
their backcourt defenses. That shit don't matter.
Sorry, AR getting chipped out.
If the Lakers, you can fix your face wiper. If the Lakers get Darius Garland and Jared Allen with Luka Doncic, they're instant.
When
championship
Darius
contenders.
When
No,
Darius
I was
Garland
gonna
just
say-
best player on the
okay,
Stockton
talk-
team.
I was gonna agree.
Let's
No,
be
I was.
for
That's
real,
what I
yo.
was gonna
Let's
say.
be for real.
I'm really high on Darius, but I'm also I'm also not an idiot. Darius Garland and Luka come fourth quarter. I mean, that would be like that defense would be. I mean, like
Who's
they
the
would be getting
other three
matchup
on the
hunted.
court?
I don't know. Is Reeves still there? But he said
DeAndre
Reeves getting chipped
Ayton,
out.
Jarrett Allen, and
DeAndre Ayton and Allen.
Austin,
yeah,
Austin Reeves ain't
DeAndre
playing.
Ayton playing the 4. Yeah,
Okay, brother.
you got DeAndre Ayton. He's not gonna be a backup big. He gonna play.
Yo,
DeAndre
that's a
Ayton,
good-
Jarrett
that's a
Allen,
good
throw out
basketball
Jackson
team,
Hayes,
yo.
the triple big. Yeah.
All
And we
right.
get
All right,
off
y'all.
Blue and get Andrew, and Andrew's out there with Allen and
Get Darius Baisley out there. He be hustling.
yeah.
Bronny, it don't matter. There's somebody to run around. Somebody run around.
Ronnie's in the trades.
Yeah, he
Oh,
has to.
he got to go with his
Yeah,
spot.
yeah.
The trade.
Yeah,
Bronny is
what-
in the
what
trade.
you got going
That's
on?
right. Yeah, go home, Bron.
Yeah,
Go
has to.
home, Roger. You're right.
War V Room 55 said Chill is 1000% correct. He may not have missed a lot of games, but he always had nagging injuries late into the season and postseason.
I think
I just
always
think that-
is hyperbolic. I think it was like 4 times.
You don't think that the
But I
Jazz
think-
didn't have none
I
of them?
feel like that championship window that you talked about, Mars. I mean, I feel like that's when it was, and I feel like that was the most critical.
Bad timing. I can agree with that for sure.
Shit, CP3 getting hurt, at least give him an excuse. John Stockton was just out there getting that ass whooped every year, healthy.
I'm sorry I
healthy
couldn't get
ass
past
whoop.
Jordan. I'm sorry I
Hey,
couldn't get past Lonzo
Man,
Ball.
Jordan was in a
Magic
different
did.
conference.
That's not
MJ was in a different conference.
Hey,
MJ was in a
the
different
Magic
conference.
did.
When they were
'Cause-
getting destroyed by the Warriors, that wasn't no Michael Jordan. They don't get that
Lost
cop
to the
out. They
Warriors
do not
one
get
time.
that cop out.
They lost to Phoenix.
They do not
Okay,
get that
all
cop out. It's
Okay,
not,
sure,
oh
I
yeah,
can
we
give
just
it
lost
that.
to Jordan. No, it
Okay,
wasn't Jordan.
You're right.
It was the
but
NBA. They lost to the NBA.
Right. And we lost to a better Portland team in '92. No
All
doubt
I
about
know
that.
is real
And I
talk.
went toe to toe with Terry Porter. I did.
You go look at Penny Hardaway's
Paul
numbers
was
versus the
outplaying
Bulls
him
that year.
consistently.
Boy, oh
Porter
boy,
was
Penny Hardaway looked like he was giving Michael Jordan
Terry Porter, one of my
problems.
favorite
He
guards. to go
didn't look
back
like
and
the
watch.
retirement was the
Terry
reason
Porter
they
was
lost.
consistently outplaying John Stockton in
He
series.
gave Stockton hell. Yes, he did. He gave
Terry,
Stockton hell.
Chill, can we also
Terry Porter was like that. Terry
the
Porter,
next
Jerome
part of this
Kersey
is
on
it.
that team.
the reason that the Jordan Bulls they didn't beat the Magic wasn't it was 10%. Jordan just got back that year. Penny Hardaway was
No, they ain't had
Yeah,
they didn't have a dirty work guy.
yeah,
Horace Grant,
yeah.
they didn't have that dirty work guy. That was the difference in the series.
I'm talking about Penny. Penny was giving
Oh,
Jordan
Penny was giving them
Issues.
the business,
He
but they didn't
wasn't
have that
only
dirty
giving it
work
to
guy.
Jordan. He was giving it to everybody.
everybody. Scotty too.
Scottie Pippen included.
Guys,
That boy was-
I'm gonna pose a question. Don't shoot me. How far off base am I if I say Penny at his best was better than John Stockton?
I'll support
You're
that.
not.
I'll support
Because
that.
me too.
I think
got
he
you
was.
back,
I think
boy.
he was clearly better. So
Clearly better.
I think Penny was clearly a better
That
player.
version of Penny wasn't better than John Stockton.
I think he was also.
I think Penny at his best was clearly a better player than John Stockton.
Chill. I get the sense that you're not that high on Penny Hardaway. We've had
I am.
discussions and it's been some
Nope.
separation. I've said things and you haven't really.
He hasn't been on board.
grasped it. Yeah, and I'm like, from what I
Okay,
know
so-
of Penny to be, and from what I've seen Penny to do in the limited amount of time he did it,
Yep.
Penny was one of them boys. Like if
was on his
Penny would have
way.
played, he was on his way. If we would have got 12 to 15 years of Penny, he for sure would have been top 5 on this list that we talking about a point guard.
So to answer your question, Ron, I think that I want to say it was in '95 when he was first team All Pro. I think he was on.
In
his
what
way.
year?
That was '95. That was in year 3.
No, in
No, I was in
three.
year
Okay.
2. I apologize.
Hey, we're talking about Chris Paul in year 3. Let's
Yeah,
talk about
so
Penny Hardaway in year 3.
I think that if we could get more of that, he was on his way to being the best league guard in the game. I won't argue that point. I 100%
I think he was.
in '95.
I think
I don't
Penny
think
Hardaway
so.
was the best point guard in the league. It was him or Gary Payton, maybe.
I think it was Stockton in '94, 95. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
94,
But I think
95.
Penny was better than John Stockton. So
Yeah, 94, 95. Penny that. So just for context, Chill, that regular season, you said 90. What you said 94, 95, Penny?
94, 95.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Penny from 95 to 97, I think, was the best point guard in the league.
Let's see. So Penny that 94,
Stockton
95
later
year.
on.
Oh no, man. Gary
Boy.
Payton, Stockton.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
thinking
not gonna
Gary
lie,
Payton.
bro. If Penny don't get hurt, bro, this top 10 list is way different, dog. Because
That's
I can't.
all I know,
I can't say for sure who I think was the best point guard in the league at that point. But I will say that if Penny Hardaway stays healthy, I think he's a clearly top 5 point guard of all time. If we just talk about what he was doing 94, 95, 95, what he was doing in those times, I think Penny was clearly on his way. I don't know if he was better than Gary Payton at that time. I don't know how much better he was better than John Stockton. I'm not gonna make statements like that. But Penny Hardaway was bad.
Penny had what was it, year 3?
What was it?
like
Was
a
it the
top-
finishing? Was it the distributing? Was it the finishing? Like what was it?
He was
I know Penny.
size,
I was about to say. I know he was
the
the
shot
I know he was the
creation,
next
the scoring
I'm
aggression,
saying.
the ability to
I know he
get
was the next
downhill.
Bro, he was a
finish, the
2025
passing,
player in the 1990s. The dude was a man. Like he had the handles. First off, I've never seen nobody get off that pin crossover. I mean, I see MPJ do it one time on accident to Chris Middleton, and he said he'd never seen it before, so he probably lied. Remember, Penny used to get that behind the back. Like I'm talking about getting by people consistently. He was an and one mixtape type of player. He was efficient as crap. He was a good over the top shooter, great driver, would bang on you. He was a good
Dunk on
defender.
your ass.
He was a good defender too in the scheme they were deploying. Him and Nick Anderson and Shaq and Horst, they would get Grant and then Grant Hill, bro. They were supposed to be the next era. I don't think they would have got Chicago out of there like consistently because Chicago eventually revamped when they got like Rodman and all that stuff and Harper. But they would have been giving them bar for bar. It would have been a problem.
And then Shaq pulled a KD and sold his ass. Shaq straight pulled a KD and sold his ass.
I would have loved if Penny stayed healthy. I would have loved to see that do it.
It sounds
I think one of the main
Shaq
reasons why he
had
didn't.
0203 T-Mac still didn't win.
Well, the reason the Magic lost in '95 was definitely not because of Shaq and Penny.
Yeah,
I know that. The reason they lost in '95 was because of everything outside of Shaq and Penny. Shaq and Penny were really good in that series. It was everything around them that was not very good. But
saying, you just don't win because you have another elite team.
I agree. It's not as simple as just put this guy on the team, you win. Yeah. But '95 Shaq isn't 2000 Shaq. I just want to make that abundantly clear.
Yeah, and on top of that, Swappy, you're talking about how
clear.
good Penny was, and Jamal's clearly better than Penny. So stop talking about Jokic.
Jamal Murray is better than Penny
that I wasn't here for on the show.
Unplayable teammates. Y'all got a point guard better than Penny Hardaway.
Yeah,
this a take that I was not on the panel for.
It is a take you was not on the panel for, but it's a take you would have co-signed.
No, I would not have actually. I don't know.
After that 23 playoff run, you would have been right there front center.
Again, y'all wasn't there. Again, I just want to be clear about this so I can defend my name. Apparently, I have to defend it against Stick I never met. Penny Hardaway. You would ask me as a child, as a kid, Jordan, and then Penny, Kobe. Like, there was no separation for me as a child. Like you would have asked me, I would say I want Penny just as much as I want Kobe. I didn't know what I was talking about. Obviously, I was a kid. Like, who knows? All I know is Penny had a Sprite commercial that I loved.
I just think that you guys, like, when we talk about Stockton, and I hate when we have conversations about Stockton because it makes it sound like that's all I care about. Because I recognize how awesome Gary Payton was. I recognize how awesome Penny was. But to Ron's point, I mean, Stockton, as the bucket getter that he was, he might not have been the shot creator. He might not have been the bucket getter that Penny Hardaway was. But again, I'm still running with Malone, who was prime Malone. And with Shaq, him running with him, they threw the ball into Shaq. They knew where their bread was buttered. But all the other stuff that John Stockton did on the defensive end, the distributor that he was, the transition point guard that he was as a distributor, 100%. I'm not even talking about him being a bucket getter and a finisher, because John Stockton could finish with the best of them at the rim, especially in transition. He was a damn good transition point guard. I'm not going to argue that. But at that point, and the efficiency, I don't even think we can argue the efficiency. John Stockton at that point, I mean, you guys can fact check because you guys do this anyway. Stockton was almost a 50-40. What was he? A 50-40-80? 50-40 close to 90 guy?
I think he led the league in shooting a couple times, I think.
During that time. So, I mean, John Stockton was definitely, at that time, arguably the best point guard in the game. I thought he was the best point guard in the game at that time. As much as I love Gary Payton, as much as I love Penny Hardaway, I didn't think Penny Hardaway was there yet. I thought John Stockton was already there.
You don't think by the time Penny Hardaway got to the finals, he wasn't in the conversation for best point guard in the league?
I didn't say that he wasn't. I said that John Stockton was the best point guard in the league. I didn't say about a conversation. No, I'm not doing that at all. And I do think that Penny Hardaway was on his way to being the best guard in the league. And to be fair, I think that the way he was playing, it was going to be him and it was going to be everybody else. That's what I thought was going on. But I didn't know that, with losing Shaq, how much effect that would have had on him, because now he had to do more, and I think it exacerbated his injuries.
Man, Penny Hardaway finished above Hakeem Olajuwon and Scottie Pippen in MVP voting, by the way, in his third year, just for context of how good Penny was at this point.
What did you say, Swiper? You said he finished.
Penny finished third in MVP voting behind Jordan. And
what year is that? What year is
this? Is 1995-6. He finished ahead of Hakeem. This is after Hakeem won his title, so he finished ahead of
Hakeem and Pippen.
Yeah. Hakeem and Pippen. Yeah, he was third behind Robinson and Jordan.
John Stockton was 11th.
Makes sense.
Ooh, boy, all right, fellas. We have a top 100 list that we are putting together of players from last season, the 24-25 season. We've got 22 players down. I'm going to put this on the screen. And in case you're just now seeing this, or in case you have been here but you forgot what the list may look like, I'm going to put this list on the screen, and we are going to do 23 through 30 today and continue on with our top 100 players from last season. So this is what the list looks like as of right now. Let me scroll to the top so we can run through it right quick. We got Jokic 1, SGA 2, Giannis 3, Jason Tatum 4, Anthony Davis 5, LeBron 6, Kevin Durant 7, Wemby 8, Anthony Edwards 9, Luka Doncic 10, Jalen Brunson 11, Steph Curry 12, Donovan Mitchell 13, Cade Cunningham 14, Cat 15, Tyrese Halliburton 16, Evan Mobley 17, J-Dub 18, James Harden 19, Devin Booker 20, and Damian Lillard 21. So we have 21 names down. Today, we are at least going to try to get to 30. So let's go ahead and dive into it, fellas. Here's the thing, y'all. There are some names, notable names that are still lurking around. And let me just throw some names out there. Guys who have gotten votes so far: Paulo, Franz, Kyrie, Zubac, Triple J, Garland, Pascal, Sabonis, and Trey.
Did we not have Franz at 22, or I'm bugging?
No, we did have Franz.
Yeah, don't do my guy Franz like that. Yeah. I got Kyrie now, but
all right. So Franz is on the list. Well, one thing that we're factoring in is games played. Kawhi is available if he gets voted on there, but a lot of people are factoring in his availability and all that good stuff.
It ain't 25 players in the game better than Irv. It's not 23 players it's not 23 players in the game.
37.
It's not 20. It's not 25 players in the league better than Paulo.
I agree.
It's not necessarily that.
Kyrie played 4 more
He
games.
had a better season.
Paulo
Paulo played in
just
the playoffs though.
He did.
Kyrie did not.
So Irv broke down.
Paolo had
so
that
we're doing
horrific month. Kyrie did not.
He was hoping.
Kyrie was more consistent.
Kyrie didn't have the heights of Paulo this season, though.
He did not. I'm opting to choose the consistency.
Which
All
he
right,
was
well,
awesome when Luka went
Give me the
went
higher
down.
heights and the playoff availability.
The team ain't make the play. Okay. I got Kyrie.
Though, real talk.
I got
I mean,
Kyrie.
he tore up his knee, man. I mean, it wasn't like he like consistently gets. I mean, he tore up his knee.
I mean, Kyrie will probably be my next name, but I'm.
Has Cade made the list already?
Yeah, Cade was at.
Oh, okay.
It was at 14.
16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 14. All right, so Mars has Kyrie. Real talk. Sounds like you have Paulo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Swiper. Who do you have next?
Well,
how many games did Darius Garland play last year, y'all?
Who?
Darius Garland.
I want to say like 60 some, but I'll check.
Yeah, he played
75
75 games. Darius Garland goes here. 75 games.
I thought you played like
So
68.
Swiper, you got Garland.
Yeah, I'm putting Garland here.
All right,
Over
John
Irv?
D.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 25 extra games is a big deal.
If we're
That
going,
might be enough to convince me.
I was gonna go with Kawhi, but since we're doing the games played,
Sometimes. Okay, Anthony Davis played one less. Or
Yeah,
one more
we're
game
not bringing that, but we're not bringing that up again. Yeah, I'm switching to Darius Garland. I'm joining Swiper.
yeah,
I can't think of anyone else. I'll join with Darius Garland.
75 games is a lot. Damn.
That's a
It
lot of
is.
games.
it is.
Most games ever played in his career.
I'm gonna go Kawhi. I'm gonna go Kawhi.
He played half as
All
many
right.
games as me. That's crazy.
All right, I'm
Ox, who
going
you
Kawhi.
rocking with?
I know who. Since you brought Kawhi up,
Demontis. He's got Demontis.
yeah, we still haven't gotten off of that, and we're not.
Yeah.
2014 and 6.
This shit is ridiculous, and I'm not. You know who I got. I'm not voting until he's up there. You know who I got. You don't got to ask.
So John D and Ox basically are just throwing away votes for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
I'm
All
not
right,
throwing
chill.
away
Who's that?
anything. I'm
Irv.
you know he deserves to be on this list.
got Kyrie?
already.
Yes, I got Irv.
All right, cool. Well, Darius Garland is now at 23.
Mm.
All right, let's do it again. Darius Garland's off the board. Swiper and Mars. Who are you rocking with now?
What do I do with Jaren Jackson?
You wait, Mars. That's what you do with him. He's in the
Yeah,
waiting
you
room.
are the one who tried to tell me he was in MVP conversations. Now you're
No,
telling me
what
I'm
if we're gonna do that, can we be honest?
That's
And I
what
know
you told
I
me.
don't
It was
wanna
in
do- I
February.
right, I don't want to derail this. And remember what we said. If we're gonna do that, then we got to do this about Jaren Jackson. Don't just say I said Jaren Jackson was a league MVP candidate. I said if we're gonna do this, then we got to put Jaren Jackson in the conversation too. Remember that?
Yeah.
But you
And then
did that
he was
because you were mad at me
actually
for my
arguing
Jared
against it.
Jackson argument. That's what happened, and then you responded.
Yeah,
by saying,
'cause
well, if he's
Swiper was
all that
making-
what you're
yeah,
saying, he's gonna
Swiper
be
was
top
making
five
a
MVP
case
candidate.
that Jaren Jackson was good. And he was like, well, if Jaren Jackson's good, he has to be an MVP candidate. That's what
No,
happened.
that's not what it was.
That's
No,
exactly
that's
what
not
happened.
Uh,
It is. But
They played 74 games.
that's what
last
I'm
year,
saying.
y'all.
Like, at some point, like, I think Kyrie is better than Jaren Jackson.
Yeah.
Do I think he's 24 games better than Jaren Jackson? But then Jaren Jackson was like doo-doo in the playoffs.
Garbage.
Jaren Jackson had
So
a
was
bet-
Kyrie.
He had a
But
better
Kyrie
season than
wasn't.
Kyrie.
But Kyrie wasn't even eligible to play in the playoffs because
That's
he
what I'm
was
saying. You can't.
out,
We don't
and
know what
then
he
they
would
lost
have
in the
did.
playoffs.
Kyrie could have had a worst
I don't
playoff
know.
ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kyrie might have had a better playoff series. Like if they would have played the Thunder, cool. But let's not
What?
forget Jaren Jackson, all NBA, all defense. Like Jaren Jackson had a hell of a season.
He made the All NBA team.
No, he didn't
Didn't
make
he get,
the.
didn't he get third?
No,
No.
he didn't make third team. I don't believe.
He didn't make the All NBA.
No,
team?
he missed.
Bro,
it.
if
That's
we
why he missed
doing the
contract.
games played thing, if
Damn.
like Pascal Siakam needs to be a name that we.
He is.
That's
He's
what I was
coming up.
thinking about
He's
next.
coming up.
That's what I was
coming
thinking
up,
about. That's what I was thinking
That's
And
about.
his playoffs were great. Real talk. Was he the best player?
That's what I'm saying.
Was he the
There's
best
no
player?
way his teammate is this many slots better. Sorry, he's not.
I'm fine with Pascal over Jaren Jackson. I'll go Pascal.
I'll go. I'll go Pascal.
I'll do both.
I'll go
Both back to
Pascal.
back. Yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
go
and put
Pascal.
I'll do
Yeah, I'll go
Pascal
Pascal.
then. I'll go
Pascal and
Pascal.
Jaren.
Good
Pascal
point,
and Jaren
real
back to
talk.
back.
Good point, real talk.
Mhm.
So
And Pascal was
all right,
hooping in the playoffs.
All right, so Swiper, who you got?
I got Spicy P.
All right, Mars.
Pascal.
Chill.
Irv.
Ox. Oh, never mind. Real talk.
Pascal.
No, sir.
John D.
I'll go Pascal.
All right. Pascal is 25th.
That's good. That's a good place for
Yo,
Pascal.
at
You
this
know,
point,
My bad.
at this point, can we just have enough respect to just
Has
not even
Trae
put him
Young
on
made
the
it
list?
yet?
No,
Like
he
just
hasn't.
have enough respect to not even put him on the list.
LeBron didn't even
All
bring
right,
him up.
The assist leader.
Why should
Custodian
Ron
assistant.
have to bring him up?
Yeah, so this is the list right here, just so you guys can see. And I'm gonna give you some notable names once again. So we have Trae Young, Domantas Sabonis, Kawhi Leonard, Triple J, Zubac, Kyrie, and Paolo. Those are names that have been floated around.
Well, was Trae Young better than Jaren Jackson Jr. last year?
Trae Young was better than Harden
Yes.
last year.
Yes,
Huh?
he was.
I think
Yes,
James
Young was
Harden
better
at
than Harden
19.
last
I
year.
think James Harden at 19 is a reach. But
I agree.
I actually
All
agree with
NBA
you,
Harden?
Ron. I do
Okay.
think Trae Young's better than James Harden. last year.
I don't care about the All NBA team, Swapper. But I got Trae.
I don't want to move off that.
All
Take that quickly. I'll just put Jaren. I'll put Jaren here. No.
All right. Mars got Trae. Swiper got Jaren. Chill. You staying with Kyrie?
Damn, Trae was awesome last season. I'm taking Trae Young. Yes, he was. I'll take Trae Young over Irv. I don't think he's better than Irv, but I think last year.
Do you think he had a
Yeah.
better season than Kyrie Irving?
Yes, I do.
That's not even a. I don't
He
even.
played
that's
like,
not
he
even a
played like he
question.
played
Y'all are
way
nasty
more
about this.
games.
I'm not
He
gonna
played
lie,
like
y'all.
28 more
He,
games.
he played way more games.
He played
Why
like
are we
28
nasty
more
about
games.
this?
Well,
Like,
was he? Did he play? Well, because Kyrie was being brought up and Trae wasn't being brought up. I'm saying like, what moved? Did the games played? What moved? To,
I forgot about
the games
Trae Young.
played.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
games
I-
played
I
is
thought
moving me
Ky-
a lot.
And on top of that, I thought Trae Young was already on the list. I forgot about Trae Young. That's why
I also thought Trae had made it by now because
Yeah,
Ron
I
wasn't
thought he was on the
complaining
list
about
already.
anything. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Trae's here.
I thought he was
What's
already
my
on the
complaints
list,
gonna
but he's
do? I read the list to you guys. I said the
You was
notable names.
passionately complaining speak about Trae, so I was like, oh,
Mhm.
I came in feeling like Ox today. What's the point even speaking on it?
I feel you.
But-
Well, yeah.
okay,
I got
well,
Trae.
all right, we're
By the
doing
way,
that. Then.
Trey had a better season than Garland too. By the way,
No, he did
Somebody-
not. But again, we're doing this again. This
Yes, he did.
No, just it doesn't matter. Whatever you say, that's your guy. That's your guy.
Hey, Swiper, I ain't doing that.
I'm not going to do this because I
gonna do
gave
that.
him plenty of opportunities in the regular season to tell me why Trae Young was better than Darius Garland. He sat
He
there
was
quiet
better
every
because he
single
led
time.
the league in assists. That's why.
Well, because you
That's
lead the league
why.
in points, you're
He
a
was
better top
better-
15
he
player.
was better
Bradley
because he
Beal
scored.
was Bradley
He was
Beal
better-
a top 10 player in the league when he led the league in scoring?
You said top
Darius Garland will
15.
never be a top 10 player.
Okay,
First
top
off,
15.
second off, we're comparing. You bringing Bradley Beal into this to compare him against top
You
10
said
players.
he led
has
the league in
no
assists.
relevancy.
He led the league in
has
points.
no relevancy.
What does it
Okay,
mean to lead the
but
league in
has-
something? Why is that important?
What do you mean? Why is that important?
Why is that important in this conversation since you brought it up?
If he led the league in scoring, you guys would have him on the list. I
Who?
promise you.
If he made an All NBA team, Swipe would be losing his mind about it.
Okay, and that's the point. Also that leading the league in assists with the team that he had it's mind blowing. It's mind boggling. I can't. It's hard to wrap your mind around that. I
No,
know.
it's not.
Maybe it's easy for you two. I'm telling you, if you put him on that team with Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Trae Young might average 15 assists, bro. He
also
really
led
might
the league in
average
trash.
15
Is he gonna
assists.
have the ball that much?
He would have the ball in his hands way less, so I would argue.
Wait a minute, though.
But I would still
I
argue
do think
he's probably-
he's a better passer than Garland.
Yeah,
He's a
for sure.
better passer. He's a
First of
better
all,
scorer. He's a better
wait,
lead
wait,
guard.
Swipe.
He had a
Let me
better
ask you-
season.
Yes, sir,
Like,
brother. Yes, sir,
Let
brother.
me ask you this.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Peace be
Who
with
do
you.
you think? Salaikum salam. Who do you think?
Well,
Well, like salam, but close enough.
Yeah, close enough. I'm a Christian.
wait. What? Jesus spoke.
Focus.
Euro.
As you was saying.
Who's a better playmaker, Darius Garland or Trae Young?
Trae Young. What are you talking about? Trae Young.
Yeah.
Trae Young.
Okay.
Trae Young.
Okay.
I'm
Who's
just
a
talking
better
about last
pass-
season.
Wait. Stop.
Last season, Trae was still a better playmaker.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Of
Correct.
course.
Okay. Who's a better passer, Darius Garland or Trae Young?
Trae Young, obviously, he's top 4 passer in the sport.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Top one.
if you
Derek
think
Carr was
he's
a better
better
scorer
passer-
last year, though. To be fair,
If you think he's a better, I guess.
Well, but real talk.
You're referring to the season that he had on that Cleveland team.
I agree.
We
But
all
that goes to the D-Mitch
we
point
all
earlier.
acknowledge the Cleveland personnel, the Kenny Atkins.
Agreed.
You know what I'm
Agreed.
saying? Like there
Agreed.
was a
Agreed.
lot of.
I agree. No,
into what
I'm
Darius
agreeing
Garland
with
was
you.
doing.
I'm agreeing with you. But I'm saying that's the same thing with me and SGA and Giannis, though. SGA had a better season than Giannis, but a much better personnel to Giannis. But if you gave Giannis the same personnel, I think Giannis has a better season. But I got to give credit for SGA for what he did. Does that make sense?
Correct.
I don't think SGA is a better player than Giannis.
Yeah, sure.
Like, if you ask me in my bones of bones, SGA is not better than Giannis. If you ask me in my bones of bones, real talk, if we have this conversation, I don't think SGA is all that much better than Luka. But team situation, I know. But I agree. I'm saying I think they're in the same tier. But I can't put Luka ahead of SGA just because of, like, you know what I mean, the situation where SGA was much better. I think Garland had a much better situation. I also think he performed like at an elite level this year as an offensive creator. Is that unfair?
You just didn't watch Trey.
I did.
Pay attention.
I live in Atlanta. I get
and
more
it's fair
Hawks
to say
games
that.
here
And
than
it's
any
fair
other
to say
team.
that. And you don't watch them because you be watching the Nuggets.
I go to Hawks games, clown. I get free tickets to Hawks games.
You went the four Hawks games. You went the four Hawks games.
Let me explain this to Ron.
You went
With
the
your
four Hawks games.
with your seashell necklace.
Hawks
With your
games.
seashell necklace. I get free tickets to Hawks games. I can go wherever I want. I got a press
That
box.
don't mean you
I can
go.
go to whatever I want.
Go.
The last NBA game I went to was LaMelo Ball versus Trae Young. You know what Trae Young was doing that game?
Ron, you know Trae Young led the league in turnovers this year, right?
Chucking.
Did he?
Okay, now do the assist to turnover ratio. Do the assist to turnover ratio.
With Trae Young?
He in fact did not.
With Trae Young?
Let's see.
I led the league in missed shots. I also led the league in most made shots and field goal attempts.
Oh yeah, Trey did lead by 0.3.
Oh.
His scoring is definitely it was in the.
I didn't know Trey averaged 24. To be fair,
yeah, he was shooting 39% for most of the season. Real talk, and we were talking about up there. Matter of fact, chill, the guy up there, he was over here talking about. Wait, there's no way you can be shooting 39% from the field. You can't do it.
Got up to 41.
Now, to be fair, James Harden is on this list. And James Harden,
he was like 40%, right? He was at 40%.
Was not shooting the ball well at all. At all.
I also think
reputation.
But no, well, to be fair, James Harden, I know this is context of also the team he played on. I'm acknowledging that. James Harden was also spearheading one of the top 4 offenses in the league this year. Like, so he also played with, like, I'm talking about the Kawhi run when Kawhi came back. Those 34 games, they were number 2 in offense. James Harden was you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, again, but that's why I got Zoo on the list. But y'all push back to me on Zoo.
I actually
Zoo played 80 games this year. He played 80 games.
We're getting into Zoo range.
Yo, let's get back to it though, y'all.
Gonna be my guy.
We're getting into Zoo range.
I got a man wearing seashells on his neck trying to talk to me about Trae Young. Leave me alone.
I think Zoo.
Hey,
I was gonna have Zoo up.
Seashells, though. Yeah.
Yo, so Swiper, you got Triple J, right?
Yeah.
Mars, you have Trey.
Mm-hmm.
Chill, who you got?
Trey was awesome this season, even though he was a turnover machine, and this is the best iteration of talent that he's had. I thought Trey was already on the list. I'm taking Trae Young.
All right, Ox still has.
Yeah, Jaren Johnson MVP conversation. My boy can't make the list over Trae Young.
Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah, what you got, Real talk? What's up, brother?
I'm going Trey.
Trey bag. Trey bag.
D.
I was gonna go Zoo, but it looks like Trey already won. So
John D, you should have been here. You should have heard them when I brought up Zoo in the top 20. They were like,
yeah, you brought up Zoo at like 18.
Yeah, but I think he was that good last year, though. To be fair,
this year I think it's like maybe like 23 to 27, just because of
that's the range we're in right now.
No, I was perfectly fine bringing him to 18. You just don't like
I think Zoo and James Harden should have been close to each other, and we
had Rudy in the top 20 1 year too. Like we've done this, but Rudy was in the top 20. So like we value defensive anchors up here. That's just I don't remember that. But I think Zoo deserves credit for what he did.
I agree.
All right,
I think him and James
Harden
80
should be games, like 17 and 13, and he also did like a fantastic job on Jokic in the playoffs. So, I mean, I think that's really valuable.
I voted him.
So we got. We got Trae Young at 25. At 26, John, who you rocking with?
JJ,
I'm gonna go Zoo until he goes.
I'm
on now.
tripping, right? The same shit that Ron just was talking about. Ain't no way that Ron, we got Trae Young on the list, and he led the league in assists. And Sabonis, who's a glass cleaner, ain't on this list.
Well, he's saying he
Do
led
we
the league
need
in
to get?
rebounding.
Do we need to get Dyson Daniels here because he led the league in steals?
That's what I'm saying. Let's keep doing it. Let's get nasty.
But I think.
But I mean, come on, though, Morris. It's a different level of player, though.
Yeah, those two things ain't the same.
We are in Sabonis range.
Right, those two things ain't.
So we are.
That's fine. I just don't think the
Sabonis.
reason can be he led the
Emma
league in
20
rebounds. I
game
just don't
guy.
think that's the reason. I just don't think that can be the reason. He led the league in rebounds. He has to come up now. I don't think that's valid. But if you're just saying you think this is Sabonis range, that's fine. I'm probably gonna. I think Zoo had a better season.
You think Sabonis? You think Zoo had a better season than?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Zoo had a better season. I think Zoo had a better
20 and
season.
14 guy.
I mean, but then again,
what's Zoo a 17 and 12 guy, whatever? So 3 points and a rebound.
Anchoring one of the best.
Yeah, and then one was one of the most impactful.
One of them was clearly a DPOY.
So the defense was. So the defense was.
The defense was a major slipper. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's also
not to mention one gave me a playoff sample.
Wait, does one have better touch? Does one have better touch around the rim meter? I think Zoo has a better finisher than Montes.
I think Zoo's better with his hook shots.
No, he was. I think Zoo's a better. Zoo has a better floater. A better around the rim. Zoo has a better floater.
Yeah, he has a better floater
than Sabonis.
I agree with that.
Fellas, we don't got that much time. I would love to do this, but we don't got that much time, and we got to get to 30. So check this out. Trae Young's at 25. John D said he got Zubac. Real talk. Who you got?
Zoo or JJJ? Real talk. Come on.
We got Triple J, Kyrie, Paulo, Sabonis. Paulo's still out there too.
I'm going Sabonis.
I'm not
Sabonis.
37 games.
But he can't be. He wasn't better than Zoo last year. There's no argument for him over Zoo. No.
Here's my
argument. There is an argument.
Here's my issue. Okay.
Real talk. It's all good. You got Sabonis. That's what it is. We got to move on. Still, who you got?
Irv.
Mars.
I'll go with Zoo.
And Swiper.
Zoo. That's fine.
All right, so it is a tie between Zubac and Sabonis. Chat, I would love to run a poll, but once again, we don't got time, so I'm gonna be the tiebreaker. And
wait, Ron, I got De'Aaron Fox.
How many games do you have?
Wait, what? I just joined you in your Sabonis.
Yeah, you joined too late. You joined too late.
All right, well, then it's Zubac then.
When is the appropriate time to raise Alperen Şengün's name?
Not now. Not here.
Just
not
curious.
here.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
I'm thinking here. Between 35, around 30, between
42 to 48. But somewhere in there.
No,
you guys told me he was an all-star, so I'm just
Ooh, chill. Because he's the number 2 seed.
I didn't tell you he was an all-star. He was an all-star. Keep going, Ron. He did make the all-star team.
Yeah, but you told me he should have been. That's what you're saying. You told me he should have been. That's what I'm saying.
I thought that's
so did Zubac get it?
Yeah, Zoo got it.
Okay.
All right. Zubac is. I didn't update.
If we off the Sabonis, then I'm going Paulo here.
All right, real talk got Paulo. John D, who you got?
Paulo.
Mars. JJ played 74 games last year, I think.
Yeah, I got Jaren Jackson.
Swiper, pipe down.
We're doing games played. Played 74 games last year.
I'm doing games played. Other people.
Swiper, who you got?
I got Jaren Jackson Jr., Chills guy.
All right, Chill, who you got?
Irv.
Ox, who you got?
I got Jaylen Brown.
All right, it's a tie between Triple J and Paulo.
Has not been brought up on it.
Yeah, because he had a bad season. That's why he had a
Jaylen
bad
Brown
season.
has been awful.
I know.
A bad season relative to Jaylen Brown.
For sure.
He didn't have an all.
I think Jaylen Brown had a worse season than Jaren Jackson.
Just like how y'all said with Luka, it was a bad season compared to Luka.
That's why I'm willing to concede that point. But I think Jaylen Brown was worse than Jaren Jackson.
All right, fellas. Well, it was the tiebreaker. I broke the tie by picking Triple J. I think his body of work over the full course of the season, getting that all defensive team. I think I'm gonna I chose to give it to him over Paulo, even though I think Paulo's a better player. But either way it goes. Next up at 28, fellas, who are we taking? Sabonis is still on the table. Kawhi still on the table. Kyrie, Paulo. Real talk. Who you rocking with?
Paulo.
Swiper. Who you rocking with?
Paulo Banchero.
Chill. Who you got?
Irv.
Big Ox. Who you got?
Jaylen Brown.
Mars. Who you got?
Kyrie.
John D. Who you rocking with?
P5.
Paulo comes in at 28.
Shout out to P5, man. He used to show up to Open Gym.
Facts.
Oh yeah, I whatever happened to P5? I ain't seen him in a while.
Oh, no.
Shout out to kid.
P5, man.
Good kid, good kid.
All right. Circling back around, real talk. Who you rocking with now that Paulo's off the board? The bonus, Fox, Kyrie, Kawhi.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
All right. Mars.
Kyrie.
Swiper.
Kai. The fits here.
I feel like Jimmy Butler's being underrated, by the way. Just want to put that out there.
There's a lot of players. in
Yeah,
West.
I'm
No.
respecting him.
Mm-mm.
I feel like Jimmy Butler's
Was
extremely
not that
underrated.
good this season.
Yeah,
last
that's why I
season.
think he's being underrated. Statements like that. I think he's being underrated.
Mhm.
Chill. You staying with Kyrie?
Irv, yes.
All right. Big Ox.
Kawhi.
All right. Well, Kyrie took the majority of the vote, so it is him. We are going to go one more name, y'all, to round out the 30. This is how we looking right now. Devin Booker at 20, Damian Lillard at 21, Franz at 22, Darius Garland at 23, Pascal Siakam at 24, Trae Young at 25, Zubac at 26, Triple J at 27, Paolo Banchero at 28, and Kyrie Irving at 29. At 30, Swiper, who are you rocking with? The bonus, Fox, Kawhi, Jimmy,
Scotty Barnes.
DeMontis
yeah,
Sabonis will go here for me.
Scotty Barnes is a good one. How we forget about Scotty?
Julius Randle had a really good year.
Yes, he did.
There's a lot of good players in the league.
Better playoff than regular season.
Who?
Yeah, but like he started the regular season slow, but like from January
Yeah,
on, I know he
his-
missed
his
time in that stretch.
2025.
January on 2025, Julius Randle was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty played 65 games this year.
Yeah, Scotty had a good season though, y'all.
John D, who you got?
No, the whole games played thing. Yeah, I get it. I'm gonna go Kawhi. Man. I'm gonna go Kawhi.
Real talk.
Crazy playoff run too from Kawhi. I mean, he played really good in those 7 games. I think.
Crazy playoff run. Really good.
Yeah, really good. He can play really good.
I'm going. How many games did Fox play this year?
62,
What do you have?
24, 25.
Got busy.
Yeah,
with a
he was
broke
alright.
with broke bones in his hand again.
With broke bones, yeah. Still getting busy.
Michael,
Give me De'Aaron Fox.
Foxy.
Ox, who you rocking with?
Jaylen Brown.
JB. Mars, who you got?
I value games played, so all 82. Give me Jalen Green. Played 89 games this year. I mean, it's just valuable. You know what I'm saying?
Chill. Who do you have?
DeMontis Sabonis. So you putting Chris Paul up there too, Mars?
Chris Paul was on my short list. Jarrett Allen was the one I was considering.
Okay. This was one.
Yeah. Jarrett Allen was the one I was considering, but Jalen Green was the leading scorer on the 2 seats. So.
All right.
Didn't make the All-Star
DeMontis
team.
Sabonis
Imagine that.
takes that 30th spot. Shout
I don't
out
care about
DeMontis
All-Star
Sabonis.
selections. Neither did Jarrett Allen.
Why even put him on the list, man? Why even put him on the list if he's going to be
Oh,
disrespectful?
DeMontis made it at 30?
Man, shout out DeMontis.
30, I think, is fair.
You don't think that's respectable?
Well, also
Why
saying
even-
the name
why
is like
even-
high
why
as
even
like
put him-
7.
Why
so,
even
I
put him
mean,
on the list?
All right, y'all. We got some super
bonus
chats.
more than fair. I ain't gonna lie.
DSG Piccolo said, "Hey, chill. Can you explain your Chris Paul ranking for all-time PGs? He was comically low."
We
He
already
I
went
think
into
we've talked about that enough.
I actually think your explanation was fair enough. I disagree, obviously, but I think it was fair enough.
That's what we do up here, though, Mars.
Yeah.
I mean, we could disagree. You could tell me some shit. That's a fair point, but I disagree. Here's why. It can't just be because I said so. No, we don't do that around here. No. No, sir. No.
Toonami said Kobe game management alone puts him in the top 3. His ability to close games at a pace that would put his team in position to win was unmatched.
Game management, I wouldn't even say he's top 3 game manager ever. Like 5 even.
Did you go off his definition of game managing or your own?
Well, I think he was just clutch. I don't even think he was one of the 3 clutchest players ever either. So,
But
No, he just said the ability to close games at
good,
pace.
when you're that good, you don't have to be a top 3 game manager. When you put that ability and that skill set with his ability to game manage, it makes you.
is he more clutch player than LeBron?
We're not doing this.
No, we're not. Mm-mm.
Yeah, we are
Well, I'm
not
just
doing
trying to figure out because LeBron,
Why
Jordan.
not, Mars? Let's do this.
Yo, hey,
There's
yo, my
8
son-
minutes
my-
left and we got super
my-
chats.
my
That's why we
son's
don't
6
do
today.
it.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
just
Keep going,
wrap
keep going,
everything
Ron.
up, but nah,
Keep going, Ron. Keep going, Ron. Keep going.
Ron, you think he more clutch than LeBron?
Yo, all right, y'all.
Yes, just yes or no, Ron. Just yes or
Go
no.
ahead.
Ron.
No,
Just yes or
no.
I'm
Next
not.
super chat. We
Why do people don't like
Teddy-
LeBron in the
rage
clutch? That's
baiting.
weird.
So I was up here
Teddy-
That
rage
is weird,
baiting
Swiper.
right now.
That is.
I'm not
that is
rage
weird.
baiting. Wait, how is rage baiting LeBron better in the clutch than Kobe? Are you
Teddy
kidding
That's
me?
not
Hart.
rage baiting.
No
That's not
players that
Teddy-
have hidden on
Come
defense.
on, y'all.
Yeah, go ahead.
baiting. As you were saying,
Teddy-
Ron. Go ahead.
Teddy Hart said no player that has to be hidden on defense, sans Magic, should crack the top 10. Therefore, Curry doesn't jump Hakeem to get into the top 10, in my opinion.
I disagree with that. I don't think you can just say Magic's an exception and then not say Steph's an exception. That
Right.
doesn't add up to
I
me.
can't do that.
Either you hold that criteria and you say Magic and Steph are exceptions, or you leave Magic and Steph out of it. You can't be like, well, yeah, we had to hide Magic, but he's cool. But Steph,
No.
I draw the line. I don't
No,
think that's far
doesn't
apart
work.
to where that can be valid, personally.
That doesn't work.
Speaking of Teddy Hart, I want to shout out all of our Hall of Famers, starting with Teddy Hart, then Multi Kenny, Worldwide Mace Television, Rob Deere, Kingster, Vale, Trevi, Cheese, Arch, the chat MVP, Joe Breezy, Minor, and shout out Rob Deere again. Salute to all
Shout
of
out
our
to
Hall
my
of
dude,
Famers.
Val.
Facts.
Shout out to my dude Val. Shout out to my dude Multi Kenny in the chat. Y'all killing it.
Look at him.
s-
Chat. Either way.
Mhm.
Savage Mail 202 sent through a super chat, but he didn't say anything. Then he sent through a members
brother.
chat. Oh, he became a member. So shout out to Savage Mail 202. Appreciate you for joining up. Thomas McCray 8485 said, John B. and Mars, did you put belt to ass to Chill and Ron about the CP3 ranking? Yeah, did y'all
Well,
put
we
belt to ass to Chill?
let Ron do his thing because Ron's just gonna run. But I think Chill defended his stance, albeit I disagree once again. But I think Chill defended his placement. So we did talk about it, but no, we did not put B2A.
Grandpa Town sent through a super chat and said Kobe at 11, Giannis at 24, Joker at 17 is crazy. Giannis has been elite for longer. 7th place gap is crazy. Someone really put Giannis at 45 at Bleacher Report.
I don't think 24 is that crazy. I also think 17 is probably a bit high, but
For Giannis,
It was crazy.
I don't
No,
think I
for
can make it. I can make an
No,
argument.
for Jokic is.
but I don't
Oh.
think 24 is way off base. I'd probably have him a bit
Dude,
higher, maybe. I don't know.
How many up here have Dirk better than Giannis?
I don't think Dirk's a better player than Giannis. But
I
find
don't know.
out on my power forward list in about 3 weeks who I think the higher ranking power forward is all time.
Rasta John said, y'all be trying so hard to get Chill to flip on his take, man. Keep standing on 10 toes, Chill.
I tried.
Don't let him throw you off your pivot, man.
I get pushed off the block a little bit, but I go right back to the box and I get back in my stance.
You don't fold like some people in Caruso Garden. I feel like
That's all right. See, that's because you know what that is, Mars? Because Chill knows how to jump to the ball. When you throw it, jump to the ball. Go get it.
Mm.
Don't wait for the ball to come to you. And don't
Doc,
flop and don't flop and try to create fouls either, especially when you're 7 feet tall.
Ox, you got pushed off your pivot though, and I'm disappointed.
I didn't get pushed off my pivot.
You got pushed off your DeMontis pivot late.
No, it's like when sometimes in elections I typically don't vote because I feel like none of the candidates deserve my vote, and so I feel like once you disrespect somebody so much, man, just keep them out of this. Let's not. If you're gonna disrespect them, don't talk about them. You know what I'm saying?
To be honest with you, Ox, I'd rather that. I'd rather you not vote than vote for somebody who you don't think should be doing it just because you have to vote. I'd rather
right.
Keep them off the list.
You have the right to withhold your vote too. And I'm like,
there you go.
We're not. I'm not gonna just watch while somebody gets disrespected like that. We're not gonna do that.
Said 3058 sent through a members chat and said, Chilltown, where does I take Isaiah Thomas rank all time?
Where does Isaiah Thomas rank all time?
Which Isaiah?
I had him top,
where did they have him on the Bleacher Report?
So on the point guard list, I had him 4. On the list, I had him 4. I think I had him top 25 all time. Somewhere, yeah, I think I had him top 25 all time. But I gotta reevaluate my list. I do. I gotta do some reevaluating my list because some guys are getting really good, and I gotta update my list.
Isaiah came 27th on the Bleacher Report list.
I think I had him at 24 if I remember correctly, something like that.
Shout out Isaiah.
Where was he on Bleacher Report more?
27.
27.
Emperor Beast Kato sent through a super chat and said, disagree, real talk. This is not LeBron's final season. He'll announce it before the season so he can get a farewell tour.
Would he?
Kobe did.
Would he though? Real talk? Because did he not just tell Miami after that 4th year that he was leaving Miami in a press release? So it ain't.
I mean, LeBron has said that. He said, do I believe him? I don't know, but he said like he doesn't want a farewell tour. He says like it'll be under wraps, and then when I'm gone, I'm gone. Like
he could just bow out.
But if I remember correctly, Kobe didn't announce his retirement before the season. He announced it during the season.
Yeah, I think Kobe
like
went out there and saw he was trash. And was like, you know what?
Kobe didn't announce it before the year. He played, he sucked. The Lakers sucked. He was like, let's get something out of the season. Yeah, this is it. This is the last. Like, he didn't announce it before the year.
Is that the best night ever of the 2010s? Maybe the last. Well, maybe
Kobe's last game
and Steph Curry at the same time.
Which game did you guys watch? Which game?
Both. I watched the Kobe game.
I watched the Kobe game. I ain't give a damn about the
right.
I watched that Steph Curry Memphis Grizzlies masterclass. What 10 threes that game? What 10?
Something like that. Yeah, to get to
10 threes and Kobe 60. I had them both
going
like
40
up like
that
this.
night, yeah.
That's one of my biggest regrets because my teammates, because like over in Australia it's a different time. My teammates was all like, it's Kobe's last game, we staying up or we're gonna get up early, whatever. I'm like, bro, I seen enough Kobe. I'm going to sleep.
Only to find out that he had 60 the next day. Like, damn.
But that and Steph, I was like, God, that was a big regret.
The last 5 minutes of that Lakers Utah game was something special. I thought they were about to get dog walked because it was like a double-digit game.
Yeah, but Kobe not clutch apparently.
Not clutch, yeah, not clutch.
Kobe not clutch.
I don't think he did on the regular. But
who said that? Who did anyone up here say that? No, Mars just spitting narratives again. So anyway, as I was saying, I think that game coming back double digits, Kobe hitting that 3 ball. Oh boy, that was a.
You shot like 25 threes. Like
about the Bron thing though. Real quick, back to the super chat. I think it'll be a bit naive to think that Bron's not going to capitalize on that, especially, you know what I'm saying, in the business positions that he's in. That's a documentary waiting to happen. You know what I'm saying?
It really is.
I know it'll be two
Bron's getting that footage.
So it'll be Bron and Bronny's farewell tour because we know Bronny not staying around after Yo. So 2-person farewell.
Masinko with the super chat. Masinko said, I remember Chill asking this, but why don't we talk about Duncan more at the 5 than a 4? Obviously, he can play both, but played more at the 5 than the 4. I'm thinking it's just because his peak was during his power forward years.
That's what it is. Duncan at his best played before. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's all.
So when we do our list, Duncan will be it was like I think he played 10 years at the center, listed as a 5, 9 as a power forward.
Okay.
But when we do the list, Duncan will be a power forward. I'm just letting you guys know. Duncan will be a power forward.
Yeah, play center from 2006 on.
Now, Mars, can I put Duncan number 1 power forward and number 9 center?
It's a waste of a position. But
no, I'm just asking you, like, will you count it?
Well, I'm gonna have to. If you only give me 10 names and one of them's Duncan, I'm gonna tell you that Duncan's not gonna be on anyone else's center list. But if you choose to just keep him on there, then that's your decision. But
because I'm like, even when you play the center, I think if you split the careers, let's just split them up.
the 10 years of Duncan at the 5 is a top 10 center. Is that what you're saying?
I actually got this written down.
I could see an angle putting him number 9, number 10. Now, I'd have to go back and think about it a little longer, but maybe so.
If that's what you want to do.
All right, cool.
They gotta find it.
Rod said, Ox and Chill don't watch the Bulls. Shut up.
Oh, you
Josh
shut up.
McLuhan-
Just because we don't watch all 82 games doesn't mean we don't watch the goddamn Bulls. We watch the damn Bulls. You an expert on the Bulls? You shut up.
He is a Bulls fan.
So what? We watch basketball. Just because we don't watch all 82 of your team's games does not mean that we don't watch them. We watch your team too.
I hate the idea that fans of a
hate that
team
shit,
know
man.
more about their team than people that aren't fans of that team. That's what I hate. I hate when somebody says, "Look, I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan, so I know." Like, oh no, bro, just because you're a fan of that team don't mean you know shit about them or basketball.
That's true.
You actually
not
could
the
be
rubber.
biased.
I'm a fan of astronauts.
Interesting. Okay.
You don't know how to get to the moon.
Yo,
I
Ox,
mean,
who's the top
shit, you
10
go in
astronaut
the
of all
rocket and you
time?
go zoom. What the-
You think
Hey,
I can
who's the
fly
Michael
with
Jordan
them
astronauts?
skits? You think I can fly with them
man.
skits? Hell nah, I can't.
Brother Swifty sent through a super chat and said, Mars and Swiper's faces when Chill said Stockton was one of the best off-ball defenders ever.
I don't know what my face was, but I probably disagreed.
Got another super chat from Hunter TV. Hunter asked, John D, what are your top 10 offensive peaks? Do you know off the top of your head? Do you have?
Yeah, I'm gonna
some
make
names?
it. I'm gonna make it extremely quick.
We did this on the Hoop Talk podcast. If you want to know John D's top 10 offensive peaks, go watch the video that we did featuring friends
Hoop
of the
Venue.
show, Hoop Venue, Tyler and Sean. We did 4 top 10 offensive peak lists, one of them being John D's. So if you really want to know his top 10 offensive peaks, go watch that video.
Also did defensive peaks and post
We also
2000
did
peaks
defensive
and
peaks,
pre 2000 peaks. We get into a lot.
Great content.
Y'all tap in. You know where to go. Kingster MH became a YouTube member today. Shout out to Kingster. Dominique TV also sent through a members chat and said, shout out my son's young players, Dunn, Malawach, Rashir, and Kobe Brea.
Hey, you see Kobe Bryant?
He getting to it.
One of the
He
best
getting to
shooters
it.
in the league. I've seen enough. He can shoot the hell out of the ball. I want to see Rashir play.
But give him that Reed Shepard tax that I gave Reed last year.
Yeah, but Reed Shepard wasn't even based on what you saw in summer league. It was based on what you saw in college.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant at least bringing it to summer league in some capacity. So
Shout out Kobe. And shout out Reed,
I
too.
like
He had a game where he got busy.
Yeah, and then it was
Yeah,
like 1 for
Reed,
6 the
Reed,
other night. But
We'll get back to
yeah,
it tonight.
Kobe nice.
Leak 217 became a YouTube member. Shout out to Leak. Toonami said the Kobe career slander doesn't make sense. How is Kareem better than Shaq? But he had more help than Shaq. If Magic is 4 and Kobe is 11.
That teammates and accolades get real slippery when you start discussing the placements of Kobe. And
Yeah, I
Shaq
just feel like
compared to
the Magic and
Kareem.
Kareem stuff just gets pushed to the wayside in terms of the narrative
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
who's allowed to play with who.
it's whatever.
Jason Young said, did y'all see the Love Island finale? A bigger upset than the finals this year. What a year, folks.
I think American Love Island has been one of the worst things that happened to television in the last few years. I think everybody should go watch UK.
Is it awful,
Love-
Swiper? On a scale from
I
1 to
haven't
10?
even watched the season based on the takes I've heard. Shout out to her. The things that I've heard about
Definitely
this
shout
season,
out to Hutter.
the UK Love Island is a true GOAT level show. If you want to go watch Love Island, I would highly suggest that you go and do that. Even season 6, you can go back and watch. If you haven't watched any, go back and watch season 6. Mars would love that one. It's a really great show. There's some very strong black characters on there.
Mars
Shout
Love
out my
is
boy
beautiful
Michael.
in that
Shout out Priscilla. Shout out Priscilla as well. My people,
In
man.
better news, Swiper, just to let y'all know, the new King of the Hill drops August 4th. So
Yep. The
So,
grown
yeah.
King of the Hill.
check
Yep.
that out. Bobby Hill's all grown up, y'all.
I don't even know what the hell King of the Hill
Shout out
is.
to Love Island. And the winners,
watch
y'all
those.
have been providing me an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of streaming content.
Oh, I be
on a
seeing you getting
weekly
to it on
basis.
that. Real talk.
So appreciate y'all. Hey, we locked in. I will be back next summer. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out.
Real talk. Hey, real talk. So what was more entertaining before we move on? Love Island finale or Game 7 of the NBA Finals, or just the NBA Finals in general? Because Game 7,
Game
has
seven,
awesome,
yeah,
but
Game
I
7
mean-
demoralized me when I seen.
Yeah, actually, low key the finale. Because once Halliburton went down, we kind
all
of knew
knew.
the conclusion already. You know what I'm saying? If Halliburton played, it would have been the final. But
all right.
takes-
That's a huge what if, by the way.
Yeah, because he was hooping.
especially the way he started. Oh yeah,
It's a
Three-
huge what if.
Yeah,
Part
shout out-
36, he was gonna score like 80. So
Shout out my dog Hallie, man. Teddy Hart said number two, the only individual floor raiser for a team in CP3's era that was beyond him. Was Bron.
Wait, what?
you could. He's saying Chris Paul was the second best floor raiser in his era. It depends when you define that era as, but you can make a case for like a James Harden, Russell Westbrook
Yes, I
in
was about
that
to say Russ.
conversation.
Toonami said, and if Magic was better than Kobe, how did Kobe go to 3 straight championships as a worse player
Oh my gosh.
against tougher comp with Pau Gasol, but Magic had Kareem?
Boy, do we not remember what the? I'm not. This is not about Magic. This is really not an indictment of Kobe either. The Lakers had the best team in the West for 3 straight years. That's why
They
went
won
to the finals.
65 games the year in 2000.
Kobe was an elite player.
that
Arguably best
08
in the
team
world.
was not necessarily the best team in the West.
Who's better in the way?
They were the
Who do you
best
think it
team
was?
because
The
they had
Spurs?
Kobe on it. That's why they were.
You think
the best.
you think that?
the
Oh,
Thunder
I
had the
get
best
what
team
you're
You could
because they had
argue
K
this,
on it.
yeah. You could
Yeah,
argue,
the Thunder had the best team because
but you saying like because you're trying to say get this.
No, I just said I literally
No,
just
but
said
I'm saying
before I
they
said
were
what I
the
said,
best
it's not-
team because Kobe was on it.
If you heard what I said it's not about an indictment on Kobe. They were
If
the
you
best
would've
team in the
switched
West.
Carmelo and Kobe in that 09 series with
Duh.
Denver and LA. Kobe would have then Denver would have been
No.
the best team
I don't.
in the
Well,
West.
number one, I don't know if I agree with that. I think that like having Paul Gasol,
I was just
Trevor
I was just-
Ariza, and the rest of the roster, I think that actually aided them. Andrew Bynum was really good in that series. So they had multiple players. The fact of the matter is the Lakers
That
were the
Denver
best team in
team
the
had
West
Chauncey.
during those 3 years. What? Chauncey?
I'm talking.
Yeah, he was
that
really
09
good.
The 09, yeah, that 09.
But they were a good team. They weren't like an elite team at all. Like that's just Kobe would have made them a much better, absolutely. But they were okay. I mean,
right. That's what I'm
Anthony
saying.
Carter off the bench, like Squeezer.
J.R.
You had
Smith.
Nene,
Smith.
Birdman,
Kmart,
Nene.
No, they were
Yeah,
good.
it was a
I
really
wanted
good
them to
team.
win, but they weren't beating that Lakers team.
Linus
respectfully.
Kleiser was on that team.
Was he? Was Linus still on that roster?
Yeah, he was on that team. I'm pretty sure.
He had a 40 ball by 2005, so shout out my dog. Eduardo Nahara, first Mexican-born player in the league ever.
Everybody in the chat, just in case you forgot, this Sunday, the press box will be firing up for the very first time. Y'all pull up because I promise you are not going to want to miss episode 1 of a great series that's about to really fire off. Make sure you put it on your calendars because it's going to be a good ass time. Also tonight, me, John D, and a couple other characters are going to be watching Dylan Harper versus Ace Bailey, the 2 Rutgers prospects. I can't wait to see these 2 go at it. It's going to be a good time on playback. Some good summer league hoops. Make sure to pull up tonight. We'll see you there. All right, fellas.
Merry
All right,
Christmas,
chill.
All right, chill time.
I'll see y'all dudes tomorrow. Later.
Yeah, I gotta go soon too.
Neka said Trey Johnson, rookie of the year. Alex Sarr, most improved, hopefully. Wizards playing team now that we have all these old good niggas on our team. Go Washington, go.
I'd be interested if the Wizards can actually win some games. That would be cool. But the way the East is set up, now would be like the worst year for the Wizards to try and be good, in my opinion. With the draft that is potentially available next year, with Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer, AJ, you look down that. Be bad for one more year, man. Be bad for one more year.
Kamai99 became a YouTube member. Shout out to Kamai. HLLSG sent through a members chat and said, Rondo cannot consistently hit the midi like CP3.
Absolutely not. Their offense would have been worse and by a good bit. Midi, 3-pointers, all of it. Yeah, for sure.
He didn't
Renji.
need to hit that fucking midi like
He-
CP3, okay?
He
He
did.
didn't need to do that shit. There
I
was
was-
so
I was
much
wondering
more.
if Ox was
There
gonna stay quiet.
You know
I
what I'm
was
saying?
wondering.
There was so much more to Rajon game. He didn't need to be able to shoot all that shit. He didn't need to. Okay, he had other shit he was doing. All right, that's it. That's all. You don't have to play just like CP3 to be impactful.
Hey, real talk. All I know is 2014-15 NBA 2K14 or 15. Bro, you give me the Clippers. Hey man, Chris Paul I'm sniping.
Oh, one of the greatest 2K teams of all time.
See, that's the problem. You're judging off of your shot release. You know what I'm saying? You're judging off that little green circle that pops up on the game. And then you think because it did look kind of realistic. So you're like, man, that's Chris Paul. That's not Chris Paul, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, real talk.
You're judging that off of video games.
I lost a series with a friend 3-2. When I had the lead, mind you, they had LeBron in the Cavs in 2016. I lost game winner, one-handed half-court LeBron push shot. Lost me my money and lost the series. I've never forgiven LeBron ever since. I don't think I played with LeBron since that year.
So that's why you got LeBron being more clutch than Kobe because of that shot.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Right there.
What, Kyrie shot? Oh, okay.
Kobe was the best player I've ever played with, by the way, in the game in 2K10. The pick and roll.
2010.
Yeah, pick and roll. Paul Gasol was unstoppable.
2K8.
2K.
I know that's Bill Walton or Bill Russell times. 2K8 Kobe was a glitch. If you hit that turbo and move that analog forward, it's a dunk.
I got
time.
2K8 somewhere. I got
All right,
2K8
Mars.
next
Hey,
to
go.
me.
Hey, go fire.
You got
fire
wait,
that up and
Mars.
grab
You
the
said
Lakers.
you got 8.
Yeah.
Go fire that up and grab the Lakers. I promise.
Is that the one with CP3 on the cover?
Right here.
No, I want to say
2K8.
Kobe's.
Yeah.
I got 2K8 right
What the
here.
hell, Mars? Where'd you get that from?
I got every 2K. I got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Oh, you got
I
the
all
hard copy. Oh, yeah. Hey, real
I got
talk.
all of them.
Straight to download, please. I don't want to lose my disc.
No,
anymore.
I still buy hard copy games. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Where you put them?
I got a shelf.
Wow,
They all
put
down there. I got a
I mean,
bunch
bro,
of them.
if you see my setup, there ain't nothing
Oh,
underneath my.
no,
I don't want no
no.
junk underneath my TV. I want no DVD player. I want none of that.
Yeah, they
That's
just
my-
in a drawer. I mean, they ain't out.
Yeah, they out the way. It's
Yeah.
right there. They out the way. They
Hey,
not-
Ron, 8
Well,
was the one that had the unstoppable Andre Iguodala too, right? Or that was 9. That was 8. No, that was 8. That was 8.
8 and 9.
and
During that
9.
time, Iggy was baby Braun during that time.
It
Well,
was
shit,
the
Braun was damn near
unstoppable
baby
one.
Iggy.
The
Yeah,
best team,
Iggy was the
2K13
Bron
Miami
stopper.
Heat, man. That team was broken because you couldn't block dunks. So you just
Mhm.
had Bron and D Wade. You just couldn't.
Oh,
do
and by the
anything.
way, the best all-time team ever is the Orlando Magic. If you don't know that, trust me. Go fire up the Orlando Magic. Dwight Howard and Shaquille O'Neal are rebounding everything with Penny Hardaway. You literally will not lose a game.
the way
if
Swiper
you run a
plays
tournament.
2K intrigues me with the way he.
No, I mean,
says.
it's Penny Hardaway. I'm saying it could. You know, rebounding is a glitch. Offensive rebounding is a glitch on 2K. Dwight Howard and Shaq are literally unstoppable on the offensive glass. Michael Jordan, you can get 50 ball with him. You're going to lose. That team sucks. Like the 80, the 89 Bulls or whatever they got on the game. They suck. Jordan's going to score, but you're not going to beat anybody. But if you want to win, get the Magic. If you want to have the best duo of all time, get Paul Gasol and Kobe Bryant. You're not losing. You're not losing any series with those.
Swiper,
two
are you playing like the recent 2Ks and stuff, or
Yeah,
like do you still?
yeah. I'll play them. Yeah, I'm up to date.
There's no way y'all don't swipe. You gotta go, man. You gotta get the hard copies again, man.
No,
There's no experience like going into the GameStop, smelling the good GameStop air. You know what I'm saying?
What if
There's
they
no
run out?
experience
game
like
over here.
ownership, man. You get these
That's what
digital
I'm
copies.
saying,
They
man.
they just decide. Oh yeah, you don't get to play
You
this
get the
game
little
anymore.
flutters when you ask them, do y'all have the new 2K? Because it's still a question if they might or might not. You
That's
know
silly.
what I'm saying? It might be sold
Real
out.
talk, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
So I
Real
get flooded
talk.
for asking for numbers.
I didn't get a new Xbox until like what, a year and a half ago, a year and some change because of the pandemic. I wanted it back, but they ran out. Remember the pandemic in the US? It backed up orders for like 2 years.
Okay.
At least 2 years. And so I didn't have one for a minute. And I wasn't about to pay no $900 for one on the secondary site. I was waiting for Best Buy to get them because I want my verified.
People was getting some nasty shit off with the PS5s when it came out, man. People was getting some nasty shit off. That, man.
And by the way, this is the last hard copy of 2K I own, bro.
Me too, Swiper.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know where mine is.
I can't believe
I don't
y'all.
know
I
where
can't
mine
believe
is.
y'all.
Oh, damn.
I can't believe y'all can't wait for me to take the picture. I'm walking my son back to his mom, and y'all can't.
We did wait.
That was crazy, bro. That was crazy work. That was crazy.
You just not a part of the squad. You just not covered.
That's how, no, that's really how I felt after I seen that cover. I was like, okay, I see y'all really don't love me. Like, I wanted to go home. I was one of them kids, like, you know, like one of them sleepover types. I'm like, oh, I'm going home. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay, JD fielded for you very well.
We see who the franchise player is, right?
Wait, JD isn't a fill-in.
Well, you're the shortest one of us, by the way.
Yeah, franchise player. Franchise player.
No, I was ready to go to the airport after I seen that.
They had nowhere else to put you. They had
Franchise player.
All right, y'all. Renzi said the Lakers won a summer camp tournament in 2020 and have been a joke ever since. LeBron's tenure low-key been a disaster.
Yeah, if you remove the biggest success, yeah, it hasn't been that successful.
I wouldn't call it a disaster.
Your profile picture is Kendrick Lamar, by the way, with the LA cap on. So you're doing a bit of code switching or something going on right now. Anyway, I appreciate the Lakers. It's no way you're a Kendrick fan, not a Laker fan. They don't even go together.
It's no way you're a Kendrick fan in general. Right?
What does that mean?
Next super chat. Next super chat.
Real.
What does that mean?
Super chat.
Most people aren't really Kendrick fans. They just don't like Drake. And I feel them on that. I don't like Drake.
Most people that haven't listened. You're saying if you haven't listened to Kendrick,
Been here since Section 80. What are you talking about? Been here since Good Kid, Bad City. You know,
that whole Good Kid, Bad City gimmick was just so corny.
Gimmick.
So
never mind. This
That
is
shit was
Chris
so
Webber. This is the Chris Webber take. I'm good. Go ahead.
Joe Tsai with a nice profile picture said Love Island UK is worse. They be showing niggas effing in the shower and going crazy.
No, they don't. But they do the same. They did play the same game, real talk, that they played in the Americas, where they play the game Ox. And yes, Ox. First off, you played this game in college, mind you, so don't even make a face. Where
what game?
You have to make a drink. Real talk, you know what I'm talking about? You got to make a mixed drink, and you have to pass girl, boy. You have to pass the ingredients between each other via your mouth. So you have to
that was.
I've never played no shit like that. That's disgusting.
That shit was nasty.
You told me
that's
you did.
I would never boy, girl. You went on the games I played in college.
You exchange.
we could talk about that. Wasn't no shit like that.
Real talk. I would never in my life be on that show because I saw that. I would never, ever.
He did that with Milk this year.
But you got to be the last. Real talk. Imagine being the last person at the end of the line, and there's 12 people that didn't go.
Hold on. What do you mean they did it with Milk? Like they put milk in each other's mouth?
It was a challenge. Where
all right, now I don't even want to hear it.
The problem with that, this is the thing for Swiper. The problem with that isn't how unsanitary it is. It's the alcohol, and I respect that, Swiper. Don't get me wrong. I do respect that, but like you don't got a problem with the hygiene part.
Me? That's what I'm talking to you. I'm saying that. No.
Oh,
no.
I thought your issue was
to think that I don't even know what's in your mouth, and let alone a lot of y'all dudes don't even brush your teeth, floss, or use Listerine. So to think that I would voluntarily have 12 people and all the nasty, the mouth is the dirtiest part of your body, and look it up, dirtiest part of your body, and 12 people are exchanging liquids, and you get to me, and I gotta put it in a jar. Get out of my face, bro. Get out of my face. Never.
Yeah.
I would have vetoed. Kick me off the island, real talk. I'm done. I'm not here. I don't care how bad she is. 6 baddies in the line. I don't give a no.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The thing about it, they all up there kissing all each other anyways. Like
somebody had a cold sore this last time, and they were still doing them challenges. No. I refuse.
Out here tongue kissing these whores. That's nasty.
No Cat Prince said, y'all want Kaminga pods and Moses Moody for Bron? Real talk.
Kaminga pods, Moses Moody around Luka. It moves me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but no, we're refusing that deal because we can definitely get something better for LeBron James. So no.
Watermelon God gave us $1. Shout out to the watermelon out there. Ray Lass said, Luka is just as much of your present than your future. You can't waste too many of Luka's years.
Waste. Don't let me say what I was going to say, but shout out.
MP13 said, I almost vomited seeing that list.
What list?
Well,
the Bleacher Report
your list.
I think it's one of the Bleacher Report list.
No, you talking about the Love Island list.
There's no list.
MP13.
It's audience voted, and rumor has it the ones that should have won didn't win this year.
Willard Weston became a YouTube member. Shout out to Willard. Mad Max Sports sent through a members chat and said, "There's not too many lists with Kobe top 5. I think Kobe stands just overrate Buddy. It's okay, y'all sensitive MFers. He's not even top 5 of the 2000s. Wow.
Is that a worse take than Ron saying that Durant's not a top 10 player?
Top 5 of the 2000. So who is he saying? He's saying
Wow.
Shaq and Duncan. He's saying Shaq and Duncan, obviously. He'd have to say LeBron. He'd have to say
KG,
LeBron.
gotta be G.
So then he would say LeBron. Then
KG
he'd have
hurt.
to. No, but I know Max. He doesn't like KG. He doesn't think KG's good.
Well, that
So
was
it'd have to be Dirk. Yeah. It would have to be Dirk.
You know what, Steve Nash?
No way.
That's a horrendous take. And like Mad Max, I mean, I'm used to him kind of KD and Steph.
Oh,
in the
he meant
2000s.
since 2000. He's saying since 2000.
2000.
KD and Steph. Okay, so Shaq, Duncan.
Hey,
Shaq, Duncan, Bron, KD, Steph. Shaq, Duncan, Bron,
Hey,
KD,
Kobe
Steph.
ain't top 5. KD ain't top 10. Hey, Max. I agree.
Well, he's saying KD's,
But
in
he
the
has
top 5
KD
above.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's saying KD's above Kobe.
All right, well, I'm being nasty and I'm taking it a step further. KD ain't top 10.
No, we all have a
That's the step you've already been at. That's the step you've already been at. It was a bad step then. It's a bad.
It's
step
interesting. You can't not say Kobe is a top 5 player, and people think it's hate. It's just maybe it's his opinion. A lot of people.
If you do since the 2000s, I can see where he's coming from. I don't agree, but I understand. I very well understand what he's saying right now. I disagree, but I can respect that take. Sure.
I can't wait for the top 10 combined all-time list because I know Chill's gonna have Kobe off the list. That's gonna be fun. But like seeing where Kobe ends up is gonna be interesting.
He'll probably be around 7.
That's what I would guess. So, yeah, based on the people I have involved,
He'll probably be around
7
3.
through 9. 7 through 9 is what I expect. 7 through 9.
And Pins in there
A9
too.
A9 sent through a members chat and said, "Dub panel, Kobe over and underrated all time." Kobe's overrated and he's underrated.
Depends,
all
yeah,
time.
depends on who you are. Everyone depends on who you are, but I'm sure Lakers
Everyone
fans.
swears they're the ones who are properly rating Kobe.
Yeah, I'm sure. Real talk thinks I'm crazy for having Jokic in my top 10, but that's just I have an opinion on how Jokic is higher than others.
5 weeks. Can't wait.
Yeah,
Game 2 Funny 01 said, "Is playmaking more important than scoring is?"
Yes, I think they're both a part of each other, though. To be fair,
I think in the current game, I would value they're intertwined, so it's hard to separate. But I do think elite playmaking is probably more valuable, just in a vacuum.
Give me the putting the ball in the basket. Kind of.
what's the part of playmaking?
Point of the sport.
I feel like you have to have a like elite scoring gravity to be like a tier 1 player.
But I'm saying if I take the logic to the extreme and say I get an extreme one without the other, extreme playmaker that can't score or an extreme scorer that can't play make, give me the score.
Who's the elite?
I just don't. My issue. I just don't think either one is literally possible.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I'm like, it's so
Yeah.
intertwined. I don't know the answer.
Victory the Great became a YouTube member. Crosby Hoffman became a YouTube member, and Sacred IX became a YouTube member too. Shout out to Sacred IX and Crosby.
Sacred. What's that? 4 or 9? No,
IX
9?
is 9, right?
Yeah, 9. Sacred 9.
No,
Sacred IX.
9 is V triple I.
What?
Right?
No, X is 10.
Yeah, but I don't think.
No, could 4 is a V. Is this? Well, sorry. Well, I don't know how you're seeing my screen, but this would be 4.
That's 6. That's 6. Unless, okay, it's probably inverse. Okay, 4. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like I didn't know.
Okay.
How you're
Yeah.
seeing my screen.
It's Zamzay said there was about 10. Kyrie played
9.
better. There was about 10. Kyrie played better, but did he play 20 games better? Names. Despicable. Only Kyrie gets the hate. Triple J, Trae Young, hell no.
I mean, Kyrie, I think year
I
for
did
year.
that for a bunch of people. It wasn't just Kyrie I was doing that for.
Yeah.
But like I did that for a bunch of people.
Rob wants Austin Chill to know that he watched 80 games, jackass.
About what? What I got? I'm sorry that you had to watch 80 games of that shit. Like you mad at me because you watching them in Charlotte shoot 153s a game? That don't got nothing to do with me.
No, I'm gonna be honest. Watching the Bulls for every game would be annoying, But like watching them periodically, they are quite fun to watch. They play fast. They get up a bunch of threes. It's quite interesting. It's quite fun.
If you can watch them,
Vucevic having a good year.
That's my thing about NBA basketball all around. Like we're talking about professional basketball players. So if you watch the right matchups, you're gonna watch good basketball. Even if it's the Wizards, like the Wizards play, you can watch them play a good game. These are NBA basketball players. So I feel you on that. You know what I mean?
I watched Alex Sarr give Jokic some buckets.
Oh, okay. Right. Thanks. That's
30,
what I'm
what,
saying, Rod. I
36?
didn't know. I know it
34,
wasn't me,
I
Rod. I didn't know what's going on.
Something like that.
Well,
Career
all I
high.
know
I
is
know that.
there's it doesn't nothing matters because anybody you should be able to watch all these teams. I had to watch Nicholas Tidisvili. Okay, who's taking 4 overall. Don't look him up. It's not worth looking up.
No, we know he didn't play very much.
I had to watch him for 82 games, pretend to be on my team. Okay, before Melo got there. So
Yeah, the year before Melo.
yeah, you're fine to watch what you're watching. We won 17 games that year. I don't think there's a lower point for a franchise than you can get.
You watched every game?
I mean, as a child, I probably watched at least 60 of them. Because
For anyone wondering, I had to look it up.
don't.
He played 81 games that year. Played 16 minutes a game, so constant part of the rotation.
Can you look who
Started
he was?
16.
Who
He
was
shot
drafted over?
29% from the field for the season.
Look at who he was drafted.
Nicholas.
Like he was-
02 NBA draft. He was drafted above Nene, Amari Stoudemire, Caron Butler. Some interesting names in and around the 02 draft. John Salmons, Carlos Boozer.
And just for
Oh,
context,
Flip Murray. Nice.
Amari Stoudemire coming out of high school was a tantalizing prospect. Everybody knew who he was. So I was hoping that, we would be able to swing for the fences. We drafted Greg LaFrance over Vince Carter and them, by the way. So, just
Shout out.
Can you imagine someone literally playing 81 games and shooting 29% from the field for the season?
yep, I did.
Like, you know how
Wow.
crazy that is?
Wow.
All right, we got a members chat from
29.
Maynard.
And he shot 32% from 2. So it's not like it was he just shot a bunch of threes, so it brought down the percentage. No, he just sucked.
Hey man, he was just trying to get his feet under him. Y'all giving him a hard time for no reason. But shout out to Maynard, sent through a members chat and said, "Sar with 8 blocks. Go Wiz."
He had his
Sarr did
career
have a
high
good
field goal
one.
percentage the year he played with Steve Nash. Just putting it out there. Steve Nash made him bad.
Damn, Denver
Wait.
can't draft.
He
What
got
you
some
shoot,
36% from the field.
Oh man.
Did you know that the Nuggets took LaFrance over Vince Carter and Dirk Nowitzki? Ron?
For what is what now? Rafe LaFrance.
No,
was good.
no,
Oh,
no, 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 no.
My bad,
Don't even try that. No way. No way. I wanted that dusty. No way. Stop, bro. No.
Shout out to Boiler Free.
My bad.
Shout out LaFree.
Stretch big at the time. I thought I was my bad.
No way.
We got a new member. This might be Rafe LaFrance right here. Goes by the name of Ooh Wee Poo. Shout out Ooh Wee Poo for joining up. Jason Young with the last super chat of the day. Jason said, "Real talk. Do you think the Nick and
Alondria.
I don't know who Nick and Alondria are, but do you
He's
think the
Love
Nick and
Island.
Alondria thing was manufactured? I low key rock with Amaya, though she
Mhm.
went to my high school. She a real one."
You went to high school with Amaya and then back that? Disappointed in you, fella. But nah, Nick Alondria, it was a big manufacturer, but
Nick
I didn't
Alondria?
think it was. Yeah, they had to start. It was a whole thing online. They started combining their name and stuff like that. So
Nick
Nick
Alondria?
Alondria, yeah, Nick Alondria,
Oh my god.
yeah, Nick Alondria, man. It was cool though. I don't think it was completely manufactured. I think it was a little bit there, but a little bit somewhat. Shout out to Amaya though.
Shout out to what's her name? Huda?
Oh yeah, shout
HUDA,
out
whatever,
Huda,
whatever it
Amaya,
is. Huda?
Alandria,
Shout out Huda. For real.
yeah, and Shelly.
Hey, real talk.
All right,
I've
y'all.
definitely met people on
Let me
on
Google
shows
this.
before, but I did not miss before they were famous. Not me.
Mhm.
All right, y'all. It's been a real
No.
show. It's been a fun time. Well,
All right, Ron. I see what you're talking about now.
yeah. Hell yeah.
yeah. Start looking to cast stuff. Yeah, look at that, man.
I come up. I
But
come
all
up
right,
and find
y'all.
some time on my schedule.
right.
Good God Almighty!
I
What up,
still
brother?
won't, but Shout out Hutter.
I can watch
Hutter,
highlights or
Hutter.
something.
Highlights.
Well, all right, so we'll be back tomorrow at the same
Yeah.
time. Y'all know what time it is. Make sure to pull up the playback tonight because we will be there. All right, y'all.
Merry
See you soon.
Christmas.
Nah, for real though, real talk. This my